We weren't there doing anything. We weren't the vampires. We weren't the barbers. We weren't the carpenters. We weren't anything. We just got here. We just got here. For all you know. The Matrix is falling. The old Matrix is falling. This is a Matrix right here. That's a Matrix. Right? The old grid is falling. You want to know where? Okay, let's find where everything is. It's falling. Spirituality. That's old. That's a part of the old world. Religion. That's a part of the old world. Theory. That's a part of the old world. You know what I'm saying? Acting like you know a thing, but you don't know a thing. They go to symbol for it. I just gave it to you. Acting like you know something, but you don't know. That's a part of the old world. The old Matrix. That has fallen. And it has been falling for a while. No, you're saying, when you said Matrix, that's what a Matrix is. I just drew it for you. This is an actual Matrix. People don't even know what they're saying. They say Matrix, they think the movie. It's a word before it became a movie. You understand? So the old grid is falling. That which you merit life on. The web, that is disintegrating. And it's all a part of the prophecies. Meaning it was spoken before we got here. So what will be of the new world? Who will be of the new world? Not what? Who? Who? Who will be of the new world? All right, let me zoom in so I don't be blurry. Who? Who will be of the new world? Who? Where will you be? Will you be of the new world? Will that be your location? Or will you be of the old world? The failing world? You have to be able to ask until the end. And the reason why you need to be able to ask until the end, this is the ascend science, okay, is because when you get to the end of the spectrum, okay, you don't know what that is. So someone has to vouch for you. Something has to vouch for you to pull you through anyway, because you don't know what that is. I'm talking about beyond the mountaintop, after the activation of the crown, and you receive your crowns, 144,000, you're still waiting for someone else to come through. So you must be asking until the end, or you won't be able to complete your what? Transmission. Because that's the mission you're on, all you chosen ones. You're on a transmission. You're on a mission to transform and transcend. All right? But you won't be able to complete your transmission, meaning you won't be able to complete what? Your transformation. All right? So I'll tell you what I was taught. There's going to come a time where people will not be able to withstand the frequencies of the sun. All right? And it doesn't matter whether or not you're a melanin dominant person or the melanin recessive person. Some of y'all been taught a whole bunch of shit recently about melanin and Caucasoids and all that stuff, right? Because I remember Rashad Jamal was teaching things like, oh, Caucasians have melanin so that they can protect themselves from the sun, which is, it makes absolutely no sense. But he tried. I guess people tried. But the reason for, at least through what science that they're getting these words from, has said the reason for the actual lack of melanin, well, not just melanin, because they have pheomelanin, a lot of it. They lack eumelanin, because you got to break up melanin into a whole bunch of different degrees. And that's what it's like when it comes to chemistry and physics and biology. You will say one thing, but you have to understand that one thing may have a whole bunch of varying degrees. All right. So, for instance, if I say, oh, I want to stand in the sun so I can receive UV rays, right? You have to ask that person when they talk and say, which UV rays? They're not going to know what you mean most of the time. So you'll explain to them, well, you got UVA, B, and C. A, B, C. Which one? And they're going to think they're smart, right? They're like, yeah, C, the highest level. They're asking to die. You understand? Because people don't understand. You're already on a planet that has what's referred to as atmospheres. And the atmosphere protects you from not just UV rays, other cosmic rays, like gamma rays and X-rays. You understand that? So when people talk about UV rays, and you understand, not all UV rays are even helpful, strengthening eumelanin or any of that. Okay? So here goes GL. And then they come down. And you're resting. All right? And what happens? You were resting peacefully. Here go you. Right? Resting peacefully. Z, all that good shit. And then something happened and you felt a wave push you back into your body. That was your being getting reacclimated with the soul that was pulled out. And like if I take out a disk out of a computer, a flash drive, and I just put something on it, and then put it back, that's your soul. You understand that? They can come to you and see you when you have a certain light coming from you. They'll visit you. And they can change and alter certain things in you because that light is showing that you completed certain steps. Look at it like you're in a job orientation, and after you get done with your application, you raise your hand, right? Okay, that's you raising your hand. Say, okay, I'm done with that part. Remember in school? Say, hey, Miss Jones, I finished. Everybody had a Miss Jones. I don't know why. And then, Miss Jones, I'm done. And then Miss Jones comes and say, okay, yeah, good job. Here goes your next assignment. All right? Go watch the movie K-Pax. Remember K-Pax? If you don't remember K-Pax, go watch K-Pax. K-Pax gonna remind you of somebody. I'm not gonna say who. K-Pax always wears shades. He's smart than a motherfucker. K-Pax remind you about one of these niggas. I just don't know who. And K-Pax gave one of these people who was a patient in the hospital, what? He gave him 3 tasks. And every task he had to complete. All right? So you had to be able to, it depends, right? Don't jump too quick because some people's tasks might be get this done, get your people to this place and then stay. Some people's tasks might be get this done, don't get that done, you get to that place and then leave. So don't get caught up and think you understand what the task is by just seeing the numbers saying you can apply to everybody. No, somebody might be given 1 task. You understand that? Still, you have tasks to complete. And you know what your tasks, how do I know what my tasks are? Hey, you okay? You gotta ask all the questions, right? You're gonna be using this one right there. Storyboard. All right, I got your question. I heard you. Your question is, how do I know what my tasks are? Okay? The things that you're being told to stop doing. You need to pay attention to this word, stop. Quit it. Stop. All right? Why? Because this means you're being ushered into what's referred to as cessation. If you're being ushered into cessation, you're one of us. If you're not, you may not be one of us. At this late in the game, family, if you're not even getting the urge to stop, if you're not even getting the impulse to stop, you may not be one of us. This may be your world that's passing away. You may be one with it. You may be of it. If you're not of it, you're being called home. Cessation. So there's a war in you. Okay? Cessation, telling you to cease. It's right there in the word. You can literally flip it around. Okay? Cease. Stop. Cease and desist. Go look it up. Cessation versus sensation. Somebody like, you don't know how to spell. I'm like, you don't know how to spell his word. Sensation. Okay? You got to decide which one. How do I know? You know if you're being told to stop. Stop drinking. Stop smoking. Stop watching pornography. Stop masturbating. Stop casual sex. Stop overeating. Stop. Stop. You're getting cues. Right? And not everybody is experiencing that. It's the same situation when you find out that not everybody has what? AVHs, or audio verbal hallucinations as they call it, or an IV. Not everybody has an IV. An IV is a what? Inner voice. That blew my mind, but they say not everybody can hear that voice talking inside. I don't understand that, because since I was young, somebody been talking to me. You with me? That's why they try to trick you when they're doing psychiatric evaluations. Say, do you hear voices? Because they want you to say no, so they can say you're trying to lie because you're what do you call it? Schizophrenic or whatever they're trying to diagnose you with. Because most people hear voices. You with me? But there are some who literally can't hear voices. Same way some people don't dream in color. I don't understand that. But when my homie was growing up, she went to school with a lot of people who didn't dream in color. They dreamed in black and white. I didn't understand. I said, how is that possible? You with me? And some people actually saw colors differently, depending on what they were looking at. If they were looking at a gem, she did a project. She was walking around with a gem and she saw green, and all of her melanin dominant friends saw green. But all of the Caucasian people said, including the teachers, were saying yellow, and all of her melanin dominant teachers were saying that's green. There was some type of varying degree based on whether or not you were a melanin dominant person or a melanin recessive person, or what color you were seeing. It didn't mean either one of them were right. It just meant that one person was seeing. It's the same thing with being colorblind. And that's not even race specific. You can have people who are melanin dominant who are colorblind. They're looking at the same thing you're looking at, but they're not beholding the same thing you're beholding. So they also shown in their studies that a lot of Caucasians decades ago, they were literally dreaming in black and white. They didn't, and they say dogs dream in the same color, black and white, which is, black and white isn't even a color. Okay, for one, black and white is standing either the absence of something, or white is supposed to be the fullness of. And I don't want people to misconstrue what I'm saying. What I'm saying is different experiences for different people. You with me? Not everybody has the same experiences. There are some Caucasians who may be way more so-called spiritual or in tuned than someone who thinks they are just because they're melanin dominant. It depends on who you are. That was one of the things I had to learn growing up, because, again, I was coming from communities where a lot of people would talk the same thing that y'all would talk, but it was too slow. And as I grew older, I started realizing those teachings were too slow. You have to speed up. So those who are asking, how do I know? That's how you know. If you're being told to stop, that's one of the ways. Cessation is saying what? You're down here. Come up here. And the only way you can come up there, all right, you have to look at it as a pyramid. You have to do what the few aren't willing to. There you go. Do what the few aren't willing to. Do few too. Right? If you don't, you fucked. That's what it says. I didn't make it up. That was literally biblical. Do what the few don't want to, or if you don't, you fucked. It's just right there. I said it. I was going to tell y'all stuff that you didn't know. I'm going to tell you something you don't know. You got to get up here to the top to be able to see. Okay? Cessation. C-section. C-section. All right? C-section, and you got to be cut up out of her. Come out of her, my people.
Come on.
Come out and enter into the realm of the true light. Come out of her. C-section.
Cook how he cook.
Cessation.
It can't cook how he cook.
There's so many things I can take and turn and spin from that. But the main point is, if you're being urged to stop, listen. All right? Now, I don't mean that just because you've been urged to stop, you're going to stop immediately. However, you better go to war. You better go to war and let that war take place in the heavens, which is your brain. And you fight those things and you come out on top. If not, you ain't going to have no excuse. I was listening to one of Pop's teachings where he was saying, back in the days when he was teaching Islam, and he was saying people were going to, try to bargain with Allah and say that they were going to come into the tabernacle, they were coming to the shrine, the holy place, and then they were going to wait. They said, when this is in the 70s, and when they said the world was going to end, right? And he said, it'll be 2030, because that's what Pop was saying, the end of the world was coming, 2030. This is back then, y'all. And he said, okay, people going to be like, well, I'll be there 2029 in 350 days. He said, that ain't going to work, because that ain't real. You ain't going to be able to do that. You'll be too late. It'll be like skipping class until the last week of school and talking about you're going to be able to take the finals. No, you will be retained. You'll be left behind. Go watch the movie, Left Behind. Somebody asked about solar eclipses. Go watch the movie Left Behind. I think they came out with another one. Watch that movie. Watch how many answers you get. Right? Because the word eclipse means to be left behind or abandoned. Are you with me? Okay. Any other questions? That's how you gonna know. You being told to stop. Stop doing this. Stop doing that. Stand in that holy place. You see all this other stuff going on out here. Who else? What other questions y'all got? What does AWM stand for again? AVM? I don't know what you mean. Are you saying ABH? If it was ABH, that's audio verbal hallucinations. There's a scientific word for inner voice. One of us, who are we? Who are you? You should be able to answer that for yourself now. If you're looking for a label, I'm not your guy. Answer that for yourself. And instead of who are we, you're saying us, who are we? No, you say this. You're saying us, what are we doing? That's who you are. What are you doing? If you're procrastinating, you're a procrastinator. If you're lying, you're a liar. You with me? If you're waiting, you're a waiter, so to speak. Okay? What are you doing? if you're elect, then you should be electrifying. You should be lighting up. Which means you should be lightening up. Which means you should be enlightening up. Which means you should be enlightened. Enlightened. I'm enlightened. I don't see you enlightened. You need to be in that light to understand it. What light, Omari? Well, okay. Well, let me tell you what you'll need to be able to do, and then we get out of here. All right? Here goes Pyramid 1. You need to understand this. Pay attention because it came through. Pyramid 1 is broken into 3 points. All right? You have radioactive waves. Okay? You have microwaves. And then you have what's referred to as infrared. And then there's a bridge. The bridge, you can't even really see it. But it's just outside of that world that most of you exist in. That's why you can't stop watching television. You know what I'm saying? You can't stop eating certain foods. You can't stop relying on certain types of technology because that's that world. Okay, this is triple darkness. You see that T right there? There's a triple darkness. And above triple darkness is what you call black. Okay? What you call this black. And outside of black, in the second hell, that was the first hell. Outside of black, you have 3 levels. Orange, yellow. And then there's another bridge. You can't really see it. Who want to guess what this bridge is called? It's called green. That's another bridge. Green, black, and purple. Go look up green, black, and purple. They're all one and the same. All right? Green is another bridge. Just outside of that bridge. Okay, hold on, let's do it the right way. You got 3 more levels. You ready? What are those levels? You have blue, indigo, and what? We in it now. Violet, or what people call purple. Huh? Okay. So, outside of that is another bridge. And that bridge is white. And then there's another pyramid. Say, how many pyramids? Well, there's 4 levels of hell that you have to be able to get out of when it comes to this electromagnetic spectrum that you think is reality. All right? After you get past the blue, indigo, violet, and you go white, all right? And you got 3 more levels. Right? And what are those other 3 levels? You have X-ray. You have, hold on, y'all. You got X-ray. You have, actually, X-ray comes after UV, ultraviolet, which you can see right after violet. So no confusion. So this bridge right here is white. So you have ultraviolet, X-ray, and then what's the last one? Game over, gamma. That's game. Remember I told you Dr. Melakazi York beat the game. Gamma. Gamma. So what's after that, Omari? After that, they say, oh no. They say, oh, just more cosmic stuff. What cosmic stuff? You know, rays and whatnot. Cosmic rays. Okay? Because nothing of these, whatever this is, this caliber, is in this fallen world. So you are climbing an extensive ladder, family. That's what you're doing. If you're one of us. And it's all in what you're doing. Mm-hmm. It's all in what you're doing. And you have to know when you reach a bridge to not go back. Sabria. Because if we tell you lot, go, you and your family, to a mountain. Because this one finna get boomed. And you lag behind, that's on you. And then we say go and anybody lag behind, that's on them. And we say go and anybody lag behind, that's on them. And we say go and anybody lag behind, that's on them. You understand that? So you're at purple. There are a lot of changes that you must make before June 20th. The solstice. Let me ask y'all a question, those who've been walking. Y'all remember when we started in the green light? Those of y'all who I snatched? Remember we was on green light? We did the science of the green light? Have I stopped teaching since then?
Come on.
No. I wrote books and told you before we even got to the green light, we would be going to the green light because I was walking through worlds like the red, orange, and the yellow, grabbing people. It's been a long time coming. Right? I kept saying, watch out for the signs. You'll know. I kept saying, make sure you develop a psychic communication with Dr. Melikazi York. It exists. You can't get it from me. I can't give it to you. You have to do it. How do I do it? Hey, listen to the teachings. Listen to the teaching when you rest. Read the books. I don't know what else to tell you because it's all I did. And, okay. Same reason why people be trying to act like they got a connection with Malachi York. Listen, I was just talking to one of the sisters last shadow, and there was a lightning storm that came over again. Because there's been lightning storms damn near every night. Right? Watch out, the elect. Okay? Even my wife said she saw green lightning last shadow. I said, see, you know I'm not crazy now. You with me? So, I told her, I said, I was talking to one of the sisters, I said, I hear a lot of people try to act like they got, connections and all that. I said, man, when you ask them, they get to talk about all this spookism shit and all this woo-woo shit. I'm like, nah, ask me, and I damn near don't even know how to explain this shit. I be still asking questions. I still got the same question I've been asking since this shit done started picking up. It's the same question. And I've asked elders, and I have not got a clear answer, and I don't know if I'm not at that degree yet or whether or not that answer exists in anybody else other than him. Exactly. But I've been asking the same thing over and over and over again. I'm going to ask it again just so they can know I'm still asking because I want that answer. A, the Neteru, the overseer, communicate through synchronicities. Yep. And I don't know how, but all I know is they made a movie called Knowing with a whole bunch of numbers. And a nigga, Nicolas Cage, was like, it's all about the numbers. It's all about the numbers. You have to be able to calculate. You got to be able to count things and see who's going to add it up, make it make sense. Your math ain't mathing. If your math ain't mathing, you're not one of us. My math so much, I'll be confusing my damn self of how much I'm not confused. I'm like, there should be some confusion here. Let me go back and check. I should have confused somebody by now with this. This shit is too on point. It can't be me.
Come on.
It can't be me.
Say it.
Because every time I turn around, I think I done figured something out. They always introduce something else. I'm like, wait a minute. I found triple black. It's all in the waves. Wait a minute. Electromagnetic spectrum. Only the elect don't even reach the level of magnetism to get the fuck off the spectrum. Now, I don't mean to misspeak, but when they say you're on the spectrum, there's something going on in your mind. Something happening in your brain. When you off that spectrum, you're further away from what they're calling insane, which is the name or word for human. Go look it up. Insane. Meaning they lost their mind, literally, because it means forgetful. You forgot, you lost your mind. And when they say you're insane, they say you lost your mind. So I just figured this out that I just said when it comes to the spectrum.
Cool.
I just figured that out on live with y'all right now. You're today old with me. We're the same age. Because what? The spectrum? And that's the whole thing? Here go the whole reality right here. There are 4 levels, 4 hells, or 4 degrees, or major vortexes that you have to be able to transcend. So I think this makes sense because I can't remember it to tell you verbatim, but I remember being told when we were younger, and this was, I don't know if he put this in the books, I have to go look again. The way out is through the sun. But you can't go through the sun if you can't withstand certain rays and waves. I'm not making this up. You have to have X-ray survivor capabilities. You have to be able to, listen, it ain't even the heat. You don't understand. A lot of the heat that you feel from the sun is because of your atmosphere. It ain't even that the sun is hot, how they trying to tell you. That's because of the atmosphere you're in. It's the same thing when you're like, oh, it's nighttime. How am I still able to feel the heat? Because the literal atmosphere is holding the heat there. You with me? So I'm not saying the sun ain't hot. It's hot in the motherfucker. But what you thinking is heat is start operating differently when you get out there. If you get out there. And there are still different rays and waves that you have to be able to usurp. And you will be exposed to them as you approach the sun. X marks the spot. And they drawing X's over that bitch. The golden children, the sun people, the people who are of the sun. It was hidden right in plain sight. People of the sun.
Yep.
Meaning you came through that bitch and you can go. They said only those. This is what Dr. Malachi Z. York taught. I'm figuring all this out by the way while I'm talking to y'all. Dr. Malachi Z. York taught this. He said only those who came down can go back up.
Come on.
You coming from here, you ain't gonna be able to, because you wouldn't even, what are the genetics that you would need to be able to hear what I'm saying, right? Only my sheep know my voice.
Come on.
Certain things, y'all ever see somebody say, yo, man, that nigga irritate my spirits. You irritate my spirits. You're not one of mine. Only my sheep know my voice. And when you know my voice is going to provide for you the spirit of truth, right? It'll be called a comforter. Howbeit the spirit of truth will come and provide you comfort. And if you hear the spirit of truth and you become uncomfortable, guess what? You're not one of the herded ones. Meaning you ain't heard it. You ain't heard it. Stop lying. Say what? Oh, I just heard this. Okay, so there was somebody called Caleb in the movie Knowing. All right, in the movie Knowing, Caleb said to his father that the Etherians spoke and said only those who heard the call.
Come on.
His dad was like, why can't I go? Why are they saying that? Only those who heard it. Only those who heard it. Now watch. Certain ones of y'all be standing outside and a wasp come right up to your ear, don't it? Don't it? Don't it get right up on your ear? Don't it get right up on your ear? Go watch the TV show Man Who Fell to Earth. There is a whole part about bees in it. And that is not by accident. Even the fact that they made the land with them ladies on it, look how it did. And they talking about the teacher and all of that stuff. That's Tom Ray. And the main character called Faraday is Dr. Malachi Z. York. So the wasp comes right up to you. Right? You better pay attention. And it whispers. It buzzes. Makes a zzz, zzz. And some of y'all are being paranoid, and I told you, you better love the wasp, because that's a messenger, that's a good sign. If they coming up on you, it's a great sign. Because something about your atmosphere is attracting them, even if it's just your yields.
Come on.
They ain't there to attack you. Don't do what the government does and shoot at them and say what? Shoo. And try to shoo. They gonna say shoo who? Shoo who? And all the rest of the niggas around gonna say who? Who? Shoo who? Shoo who, nigga? Shoo who? That's, you know, it's gonna be a sting operation. Just a sting. Just a sting operation. Just a sting operation. You say, what provoked them? You did. Only those who could hear the whisper. The whisper. Why am I saying that? Because in the movie Knowing, they call them the whisper people because they speak what? Beneath this loud ass, vibrating ass world up here. They're speaking up under, right? That sound. Well, let me tell you what that means. That means they're speaking over that sound. You have to understand how these frequencies and wavelengths work. Okay? Even when it comes to the light. You want to know how to activate yourself to be 704? Or whole? If you look at it the other way, which is what I taught y'all to do in the rehab book, no matter how I flip this, it's going to be whole. Right? Okay. If you want to be holy, or helo, or have a halo, okay? Or be of the sun, helio, 704. Then you're going to have to go through a lot of what? 704. You're going to have to go through a lot of growth, 7, and development, 4. G is the 7th letter, D is the 4th letter, if you missed it. So here's what you need to understand. When it comes in terms of the spectrum that we're speaking about, this is called the visible light spectrum, the VL spectrum. This G right here, 700, is red. Pay attention so you don't get lost. All right? Why? Because this is 700 nanometers. You with me? That means you're in the red. And you ascend to 400 nanometers.
Come on.
And you will be in violet. Okay?
They can't teach this.
Or bio lit. You'll be lit up as a living one. Bio lit. You'll be like Eve. Okay? There goes 7-4 right there. There go another hidden secret in science. So wait a minute. Omar, you telling me that you're talking about wavelengths. They go hand in hand with frequency. So if I shorten this, that's a higher pitch. That's a higher frequency. That's a higher vibration.
Come on.
And if I slow this down, you're going lower. So the number will get higher, but only because you're speaking about that measurement of nanometers. When there are more of those present, the slower your frequency will be. You with me? I hope I ain't losing anybody. Exactly, the less nanometers, the higher the frequency. So from 700 to 4, if you just X out these zeros, which you're not doing that scientifically, I don't want you to think that because you're gonna fuck around and ended up going nowhere. Okay, if you just X out those zeros, you get 7.4. GD, growth and development. And that's just 1 degree. You with me? So that's why I told y'all study Al-Quran, you'll find a hidden secret. And they say over it is 19. Okay? Over what is 19? Over 7 is 19. Because there are 7 places between 1. Which means beneath here, okay, is what? Hell. Which means beneath here. Are y'all paying attention to what I'm saying? The moment you begin this process, you have started to ascend up out of hell. But the vowels, Sheol, the cave, is its own vortex, and it holds people there in that reality. You have to first break out of that gravitational pull, then you end up in another circle. Y'all ever heard of the 9 circles? You got to break up out of that when you end up in another circle. You got to break up out of that when you end up in another circle. You got to break up out of that when you end up in another circle. You understand? And you have to maintain that velocity. You have to maintain that advancement, that acceleration, if not accelerate more. You with me? To get up out of there. All of this is happening in your brain. Any questions? Any questions? So I just showed you a diagram, another diagram, or a livogram. Okay, or a living message, livogram, of 4 hells. 1, 2, 3, 4. And their bridges. All right, I know it's hard to read, but don't worry, if I do a book, okay, it'll be clearer. As long as you're paying attention, you'll get it. All right, the sheep know the voice. If you're a part of the sheep and you're not a part of the goats, you're going to hear me. You're going to hear me. You're going to hear me. And you're not just hearing me. Okay? It can't be just me. Because I would have all the answers. And I still got questions. So it's not just me. There's some type of guide. There's some type of guard. There's some type of guide. Or guides, or guards, or guardians, or guides. All right? Even if it's us on another side of the game pressing buttons. All right? Some things be happening and I don't understand it. Only way I can understand it is to see that I don't understand it, and that's how it makes sense. When I try to make it make sense and I don't have the senses to understand it, it doesn't make sense. Let me show you an example. UV rays, right? All right, what do they look like? Make it make sense. You know everything from red to violet, don't you? At least you think you do. Those who observe the visible light spectrum, you think you know what it is, right? Okay, so what do UV rays look like? What do UV waves look like? Huh? Exactly. That's how that shit feel. Now, the only way you're going to be able to understand it is to be able to understand you don't know what they look like. You don't know what the rays themselves look like. You accept it, and you have to lean on a different type of understanding. So then maybe you need to stop looking to see something, and you need to start listening for something. Right? And when you can't hear it, maybe you need to start seeing if you can smell what's going on. Right? Maybe you can taste what's happening. You understand? All of that saying, this your brain back here saying, yo, what's that? Who that? What happened? Who? Who? Yo, go see what's going on. Hey, yo, go, what's that? What was that? That's your brain back here. Always trying to figure out what's going on. And here goes the information around you or what you think is in front of you. Okay? The information here that needs to go in some type of way. You got to figure it out. That's what they call it, the 5 senses. All right? But we know better, right? It's only one sense. It's only one sense. And that sense is feeling. You're feeling. Whether it's through your tongue, your microvilli, whether it's through your nostrils, whether it's through your ears, whether it's olfactory, whether it's through auditory, whether it's through visual, whatever. All these sensory input compartments are saying, bring in some information for me so I can tell my being, my brain, my psyche, my mind, my side, my mind's eye, the one who's a spy, but want to make all these other motherfuckers do the work for them. All right? Tell my psyche what's going on. And then your psyche going to be like, okay, let me see what I can do with that information. And it's going to pull from different parts of the brain within a split second to make it make sense and then tell you what it is you think you're seeing and what it is you think you're hearing and all of that. If you knew how easy this motherfucker could be tricked, you wouldn't trust him. You wouldn't trust it. You would make him double check, double think, double all of that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people say you need to go off your first thought. What you really need to go off is your right thought. Sometimes it ain't your first one. Until you stand in what's referred to as the nine mind. And when you're in your nine mind, you're in your right mind. You with me? As opposed to your left mind, where you get left behind. The six. I know it's backwards. You gotta understand it. All right? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Okay, I know I could talk for a million miles. You remind me of Lucy, the movie? My sense of smell be overly active, for sure. How you feel about what 607 been bringing to the people? I don't know if you trolling? Did you see my page? What was the GD part? The growth and development part, the 7-4? I explained it. It's a lot to explain. I don't know it. Do list before the 21st? What do you mean? What you got to say about that gut intelligence? Or EFI? Those are two very extreme different things. Oh, let me see what else going on. How you get to your nine mind. Okay. Oh, my to-do list before the 21st? Oh, you're saying yours. I don't know what yours will be. All I know is, listen, y'all gotta get a better routine. Okay, get your routine in order. Be real aware of, or very aware of your sensor, your peace. And protect it. Protect your peace. Oh, it's gotta be an active decision that you're making to do so. Protect your peace. Eat lighter. I was just talking to one of the sisters today, said we gotta change this diet up. We gotta go lighter. Right, beans and things like that. You gotta go lighter. Eat lighter. And don't just listen to me. Pay attention to your dreams. Ask more questions out loud so you can get more answers out loud. All of that. From gangster describing growth and development to God disciples. Okay. What is the last stage of hell? What is getting to the finish line only to be sent back to the beginning? I'm afraid of that. Your fear gonna keep you here. Why would you be afraid of that? If that's the truth, then let it be the truth. What could you do about it? Ask that question. What could you do about it? You said lighter than beans? Listen, I'm saying I want beans. They want fruit and stuff. I said I might have fruit every now and again. I like beans, soups, and stews. You know what I'm saying? That's something that I'm able to eat and I don't feel heavy. All of that. And sometimes fruit will make me feel sick. Like, I don't like to eat certain fruits. You with me? So again, that's why I be trying to tell people who be getting their dietary information from everybody. Different people have different needs for different nutrients more than others, and some people suffer from nutrient deficiency in different realms and than others maybe, or different areas. You got to really just be aware of what you're going through and what you have the taste for one, and what you have the tolerance for also. You with me? Because what you have the taste for, you may not have the tolerance for. What you have the tolerance for, you might not have the taste for. You know what I'm saying? You really just have to study yourself. Try certain things. And again, keep it light. Keep it light. All the different heavy breads and y'all shouldn't be eating meat. I'm not saying shouldn't, like, it's a bad thing for you. I'm not trying to put you down. I'm just saying if you've been walking, you know we've been stopped eating meat in the beginning of 2024. So it's been over a year with no meat. So y'all have been able to see that it's easier to keep the weight off, isn't it? It's easier to keep the weight off. You don't have too many, like, situations going on with your skin. Certain things change when you stop eating all the meats. But switching from meat to, like, impossible stuff and all of that ain't better either. You know what I mean? You gotta cut all that out. But I don't want to go too deep into that again, because again, people is respecting to the person. Exactly. That's what I was talking about earlier. Lentil stew. I once heard you say that the tones was off with some beings and it affected chants for Dr. Malachi York. How do you see it now after so many sinking with the sound and right reasoning of now? I don't know what they're doing with the teaching. And I was told that that Dr. Malachi York told them that the Neteru came to him and told him, you know, that that he should leave them because they didn't like what they were doing. That when they were trying to chant, the Neteru told Pops to leave these people here. He said, they said, what are they doing? What y'all got? What you got these people down here saying? Like, yo, leave them here because their tones was off. And it ain't what people don't understand. You could say the word perfectly. That's not what we mean. That's not what we mean. You know what I mean? I'll give you an example. Rahubat. Right? You hear, I just said it, right? Rahubat. That's a tone. Rahubat. That's another tone. Rahubat. There go another tone. Rahubat. That's another tone. All right, which one would you want to hear over and over and over again every damn day? Now, you might think I'm joking, but there are people who literally say Rahubat like that. Rahubat. That irritate me. And I ain't even in the overseer's seats. So I probably shouldn't be, because just one of them, I probably would have pushed the button. I probably would have did it on accident, on purpose. Rahubat, what the fuck? Dude. Yo, you pushed it. I would have overly pushed it. Just for her. Just because of that. You know what I mean? And I'm never wrong, because I could tell just based off of how you say Rahubat whether or not I fucking like you. And it ain't take long for them to prove why the fuck I was hearing that say, why every time she speak, I put the phone away. We were just on Telegram. Every time she speak, I separated the phone from my being. And every time it was done, I pulled it back. It's safe now. Y'all don't do that? Some motherfuckers still be like that. I do this shit. They get to talking, I just sit that shit all the way the fuck over there. And when I hear that done, I'm okay, I'm gonna go get my phone again. Tell you, they wind up being mad. Talking about I'm trying to center myself. Talking about I want to be Baba's successor and don't worry about everybody trying to do that. He's the only master teacher. And I'm like, see, he's a fucking devil. That's why you say it like that. Rahubat. Rahubat. Moisar. I'm like, bro, y'all shit sound like y'all got even. I'm not even trying to be funny. Some parts of the language be sounding nasty. I'm like, it's either y'all ain't saying this shit right or this is y'all tones. This y'all shit. Rahubat Moisar. What the fuck? Yeah, I was just talking to my Salafu. Yo, what? My Salafu. That shit, I don't know. I need the right people to say it to me. So yeah, that's what we mean by tones. People say, I'm saying it right. Or Rahubat. Oh, don't ever say that again. You know what I'm saying? Shit. You know what I mean? You had to be around the ones who's around the one, or you had to be around the one to know what we mean when we say your tones is off. You know what I mean? What you think we focusing on, we not. We get way beyond that. Bro.
They were doing that with that I shook shit too, bro. That shit was shaking my bones up. And them the same ones, some of them same ones wound up being them ones. I shook. I'm like, oh my fucking God, bro. But I sit there and smile and nod, bro. You gotta let these folk grow into their demon shit. But I'm like, bro, why is these motherfuckers around me?
Go back. You know what I mean? You go around some of them elders, they like, Rahubat. The language supposed to sound like paradiddles and drums, like some shit on the way. It ain't supposed to sound like you dragging a damn bag out the damn airport and shit falling out of it and spilling and you got coffee stains on your shoe. It ain't supposed to sound like that. Damn. You know what I'm saying? So it's real life. Yeah. So what I think they doing now, I don't know what the fuck they doing. I went to the temples and I watched. I was around. I seen this shit. I told them clean this shit up. I would have brought everybody to Wusa back if they could have shown me that that's where we was supposed to be at. But you can't fool us. You got to show me that where people supposed to go. And the only way I can know people supposed to go there is if that shit was cleaned up by the time I said, let's move. That shit wasn't clean. And I attempted to do it. I attempted to walk people through there. And that shit was dirty. Soon as people came through, they arguing and debating and fighting. And, you know, people trying to do stuff like put the yay symbol around Pops and they attacking them. And all kind of shit was going on. I said, man, and you see how when we got the fuck up out of there, how peaceful it got? You see how we got the fuck from around that shit, how peaceful it got? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? We attempted though. We tried to see, but they showed. So I went to some of them temples and I saw them meditating with the lights on, chanting with the lights on, right? And reading the chants from a piece of paper. And the person who was overseeing the chant wasn't even saying it. They talking to somebody off to the side. And they come and pick it up every now and again. Yeah, I said, what the fuck? And then put it down and went back to talking. And I'm watching this whole shit. Everybody sitting down, different people facing different directions. One nigga looking at the wall. I'm like, this shit, I do that shit. Like, what? Bro, I'm like I told you, I'm not against Enlil. I ain't fuck with Enlil's story, but there was one part I had to be like, But he was like, they were too loud. Shit, I would have been like, free Enlil. Free that nigga Enlil. I would have that nigga get out. If I became president and knew first move I would have made to get that nigga Enlil out. Cause I get it, I understand it. I was down there, they loud than the motherfucker. Shit, I wasn't listening. Quiet Place ain't no scary movie for me. It's a motivational movie. Say that can happen. Shit, I wrote the director. I was like, you promise? You promise? I wrote the producers of the movie. Say, y'all for real? Y'all like, is this real? Now don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with me. I know y'all be telling me all each other and saying what's going on, talking to each other in code and shit. Don't fucking play about this. Don't play about it. Are you for real? This is a real thing. Shit, what? This shit is loud. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is y'all just sitting around reading a pamphlet chanting for? And the main chanter not even chanting, they picking it up every now and again. Imagine somebody send you a text message, don't even finish a damn sentence and just send it. And then just start picking up in a damn another whole idea and didn't even start the sentence, just start at the end. You know what I'm saying? And then finish in the middle. And you just getting all these messages, bro, who the fuck I'm even going to say? What? I'm confused. Like, what the hell? Was this from Mars? Was this from Mars? You see what I'm saying? I don't understand it. I don't get it. I say, yo, man, y'all gonna chant, y'all chant with one another. Stand up, turn them lights off. If there's gonna be a light on, let the green one be on. All this extra shit. Put these papers down. What the fuck is you reading for? No, memorize it, come back. When everybody got it memorized, you need to get everybody keys, everybody pitch right. What you are, what's your note? You're supposed to be able to tell people by the time of their voice what note they are, put them in alignment, arrange them in accordance to their notes. Whatever their tone of voice is, so we get the pitch right. And everybody start at the same time, ease into it. All right? Or you get certain people start at one point. If it's a ohm, you get certain people start at one point, other people start at another, so that the breath cycle can be accounted for, and there will be an ongoing sound. But if you just chanting words, all of y'all start at the same time, but everybody want to sing. You know what I mean? It's a fucking talent show. I'm like, what the fuck are y'all? What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? That don't even sound like us. That don't sound like what we do. That don't sound like what I grew up doing. It was, listen, if there was going to be a variation, everybody was doing the same variation. We didn't have R. Kelly and then Beyonce. I don't understand this shit. What the fuck is happening? Do they even got a song together? I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying, do you hear a lot of them? When the last time you heard one? It's like, we know what's going on with that. What's going on with that? You with me? Baru, baru, baru. What the fuck? Did this nigga just do a run? You are chanting. You're chanting. Oh, man, what the fuck? Shit. We came in that bitch. Panes de amenu reacta. Say, Kolum Fadun. Panes de amenu reacta. Say, Kolum Fadun. Panes. And everybody was doing that. Panes de amenu reacta. Say, Kolum Fadun. Panes de amenu reacta. And then he go, imagine motherfuckers standing there. Panes de amenu reacta.
Hell no.
I'm finna tell on you. I'm finna tell. No, get out. I'm finna tell. You can't do that. You can't do that here. Oh, y'all stop. Hold on. This nigga think it's Christmas? What the fuck? Nigga, we in June. Shit. What the hell? They came in, they be like, chestnuts roasting. Man, shut your stupid ass up, nigga. Shit, man. Take his now moves. Take it on. Yeah, let's get that up off you. Now you spot an agent. Everybody say, Pa. He say, Pa. That's there. That's there. Shit, I'm a new better actor. I'm not going for this stupid Yoda shit. Man, what the fuck? They go to agent right there. Arrest him. Oh yeah, man. You can't ask me about what everybody doing. This ain't for the many right now. I think that's obvious. I don't know what everybody doing. Look, what I'm saying is a moth just came through, started flying. Yeah, they're right too. They're right too though. Yeah, Shit, this ain't for the many. Shit, chestnuts. I don't know what they doing. Last time I checked on Sabine, they were arguing about some shit. You know, who gonna get the building? Who gonna, bro, y'all, ooh. Yeah, bro, trying to see the light. Every time I go around them Sabine, they arguing about some damn money. Get your hand out my pipe, nigga. Shit, they be getting mad at you because you're not arguing with them. Any other questions? You got the frequency for real? Listen, all right? Malachi got the frequency. I'm just doing my best. The one who knows what's going on, don't get it twisted. It's not me. It's Malachi York. And the only way I could even half-ass know what's going on is because of him. I don't know what the fuck going on, bro. I just do what makes sense. I listen, shit be happening. I say something that happened. I don't know. It's just happening, and
it just happened recently. I was in one of them chats, one of them Telegram rooms with them OSM Vision people who be out there pushing the doctrine and the Sabine thing with the Ankh-Tweeds out there in the UK and all of that. And I'm just watching the whole game. I ask certain questions to see if it's people that's actually in here that are scholars, how we used to be when we were coming up, or if people just out here looking for people to look at them like they some type of student teacher. It was the latter. So I realized, though, in certain forms and formats of the apps that they have, you can act like you know something when you don't really have to face the person you're speaking with or interface, or, you know, like, let's say we were having a live conversation and I get on the live, you get on the live, and it's I facing the screen, and you don't have the time to go and try to Google it or try to piece something together or go to one of the little chats and ask them what y'all think about this question, da-da-da-da. All you have is right there in the moment, the truth of whether or not you know the answer. And you ain't going to have time to try to dance around it either. It just turned into a whole lot of dancing. I was talking to them, though. I said, yo, ain't a part of the doctrine that Malachi has to come home? Isn't that a part of the doctrine? And haven't y'all been preaching and teaching? And some of these people are new. They didn't come up Ansari. They didn't come up Nubians or Nubian Islamic Hebrews or Young Disciples or anybody. A lot of these people popped up within the last 5 years, some of the people within the last year. We just don't know who they are. That don't mean they can't do anything to benefit or help, because it'd be the same one that pop up today and they might change the whole game. I'm just saying we don't know who half these people are and why they're doing certain things, how they doing. Especially when it comes to the doctrine. If I'm having to look at what you're saying and you out here debating people about the Bible and Jesus and all of that, and you just flat out wrong about the stuff you said, not only you making us look bad, you're making the doctrine look bad, and that's not a good light on what the master teacher has built. The master teacher built people that were not only a part of a unit or a union, a family, they also had the individual mindset to be able to think for themselves. You see what I'm saying? What they calling free thinkers now. Dr. Malachi York built that formula. It's the formula I came up on, which is why I look like I'm some lone ranger out here, when in all actuality I came from a whole village of people who were like me. It's just they got lost in the world and they didn't hold on to the rope. So it looked like it's just me doing this, that, and the third. They try to make it seem like it's a bad thing what I do, even though when Dr. Malachi York was my age, he was doing the exact same thing and 1,000 times over. He was calling out the people who was full of shit. He was correcting the bullshit, the lies. He was making the music, putting the messages in it. He was writing the books, all the stuff I'm doing. And why am I doing that? Because I saw him do it. So I have a formula for it. So anyway, I was speaking to them about the doctrine and the root of the doctrine and how it has something to do with the man, Dr. Malachi York. And I see a lot of people making money off of it. I see a lot of people pushing the doctrine and selling the books. And anytime it's some new symbols, here's what y'all may not pay attention to, but we pay attention to it because I come up in it. And this is what we've seen happen over all these years. It's like the moment they locked up Dr. Malachi York, they turned it into money. There was T-shirts being sold, license plates being sold, hats, all kind of stuff. You would think, ain't no way. No, literally, right after he was arrested, people were able to benefit by making a lot of money off of the paraphernalia, the books, the tapes, the CDs, whatever they were putting out that they were putting his name on, until a lot of that was getting shut down and the name was shifting from what I was hearing, and they couldn't do it the same way anymore. Then they started to change, and they said they didn't even know where he was at and all this other stuff that people don't talk about no more. I guess they forget that other people were there like myself to witness that there was a long period of time where there was confusion about where Dr. Malachi York even was. Anyway, right? Because even at that time, he was calling people like my aunt, and my mother was there to witness it, to tell her about some of the people who are some of those people in the same people in the administration now. And he was telling her, yo, these are demons, these are devils, they do this, they did that. These are the person that was over this, da-da-da-da. And my mom asked my aunt to put the shit out, and my aunt was like, fuck the new IP, she ain't putting it out. So that was my aunt. That's what she decided to do. So, but that don't mean that the tapes don't exist. That don't mean the CDs don't exist. And I heard some of them CDs and some of them names, and some of them people don't know I remember that. Right? So I done went around. Anyway, here's what the situation is. A lot of people have been making money off of the fact that he's locked up. First of all, you can do everything that you're doing because he ain't out here to regulate. You can look like you're the big man or the big cheese because he ain't out here to regulate. And y'all can try to override what he say. I saw a lot of people do that. I get right up on him. I realize people doing what they want to do. They're not listening to what he's saying. People talking about they got attorneys and lawyers and stuff, but they're not doing what he's asking them to do for the lawyers or with the lawyers. He like, y'all not even paying the attorneys. You know what I'm saying? And this is what he was saying. I heard him say these things as I was coming up. And then I got older and I realized that it was true because I started to deal with people on a day-to-day basis. And when I would deal with these people, and y'all done seen some of it happen live, I realized that some of the same game we play, and it be tied right back to money. So watch what I'm saying. So I was bringing it up to them, the OSM people and all the rest of people who claiming to be student teachers. And I said, none of this doctrine means anything, first of all, if he's not out, because that's the main piece of the doctrine. I said another thing. I asked the question. They ignored it. I think I might have asked it 3 times. The third time I might have answered my own question. But I asked it, and I said, is this a perfected doctrine? They didn't answer it. They jumped right around and answered some question about some Adamites or whatever the hell they were talking about. Right? I brought it back around. Is this a perfected doctrine? Right? Now, let me explain to you why that's an important question. It's very vital. Because I heard Dr. Malachi York say out of his mouth, and I put this in one of the chats, in the chat also, I said, you know, when you right there, when you can hear the master speak, when you can hear from the source directly, it's harder for people to play you. Correct? Right? Okay, so out of his mouth, he said, the doctrine they have out there is not perfected. I heard him say this. Not somebody came and told me this, meaning I heard the phone call. You see what I'm explaining to you? He said, the doctrine isn't perfected. Guess what he said? Because it'd be different if I just said, he said, the doctrine isn't perfected. That's one thing. Because then people be running around and say, when will the doctrine be perfected? He said, when I get out, I'm going to perfect it. So let me make sure this is clear for all of y'all people out there. You read the books. Don't be up under nobody who calling themselves no student teacher, no none of that. Because the doctrine, first of all, there are so many doctrines on planet Earth. The doctrine has no weight if there's no action behind it. You can talk about all this stuff. Listen, there's a lot of people who are scholars in what he says. Let me make sure that's clear. So I'm going to say it 2 more times. There are a lot of people who are scholars in what he says. There are a lot of people who are scholars in what he says, but they're clueless as to what he does and how he moves and how things happen because of the heart that he has. They're clueless about that. Nothing moves in their life. But if you get up under them, you find yourself up under these people, then what they're going to do is they're going to place themselves in a position of, I am a student teacher. No, you're a regurgitator. You regurgitate the doctrine that you're reading from these books, but you don't put action behind it. And the action is highlighted in the doctrine. Did I lose anybody? One of the most vital aspects of Nuwaubu is the action behind it. The love and the divine love they keep talking about, the compassionate love, that means nothing if there's no action behind it. Love is an action. This I learned from Dr. Malachi York. You see what I'm explaining to you? And they out here still pushing and running with the money games thing. So what I say, I see all these people making money. I see people making views off of the doctrine. I see people walking around like they're some type of masters because of the doctrine. But there's not much talk about him and when he's going to get out and what's going to help him and how can we help him daily. There's not much talk about that. When these people get these platforms, it becomes more about what they can look like they know and how they got a crew of people who know things. And they keep debating and arguing and going back and forth with these people who don't know their own religions. I will ask the OSM Vision people if we can go live and we could talk. The only thing about it is, again, like I explained, the distinguishment between are you coming for Dr. York and his doctrine, or are you edifying these people over here? The masses don't really have the wisdom, right, to be able to distinguish it. That'll be the only thing that really stopped me from jumping in that gear and saying, yo, I call out the OSM. We got to set the record straight. I call out any of these people out here calling themselves student teachers. Let's go live and let's set the record straight. Meaning not on your Telegram chat when you can delete what I say. Because what'll happen is I'll say something and it has weight. And the family will be reacting to my message. It's another thing to get up under people's skin. When the family get to reacting to my message, you got elders, Ansar, people that was around before I was birthed, telling me in my DM, say, keep going. We don't know what these people got going on. We see you, brother. They might not jump out in the front, but they don't have to. A lot of them did it so that I could have a backbone. You see what I'm saying? A lot of these Ansars was propagating and tableaking before I was even born so that I could have a foundation or a footprint to stand in to measure mine. You see, so they don't have to jump out and go to war with these people no more. That's what we supposed to be here for, to grab that torch. But I'm telling people, these people been running these money games, been running these doctrine games. And when the symbols come out, y'all might see symbols being passed around. These people post symbols on their Instagram account with some poetry up under it. Okay, how about this? What the real truth is, these people, as soon as them symbols come out, they turn it into hats. As soon as them symbols come out, they turn it into shirts. As soon as the symbols come out, they throw it on a book. So it can have this new feel to it, and everybody goes and buys it. Everybody goes and supports it. Now, does that mean it's a bad thing because people can make money off of a symbol? No, it just means that when you have people who are money-minded, not business-minded, some people think they're one and the same. They're not. When you're business-minded, you already understand money is just a byproduct of you being a successful business person, right? But when you're money-minded, you'll never be a successful business person. You see what I'm explaining to you? Meaning, when you saying you're about my father's business, Dr. Melikazi York, you're never going to be able to help, aid, and assist the people from waking up from the dead if all you care about is money. Because you think you're reaching the masses, but in all actuality, you got you about a good 20 to 50 people who are up under you, right? Who are buying the books from you, who are getting the hats from you and all of that, but you're not reaching the masses. When we look out into the masses aren't picking up on what Woo Whoop is actually about. They think we're one of those people like the Hebrew Israelites out here arguing doctrine. And that's not what Nuwapu is. You see that? So watch this. I called that out. What they do, they delete the message, right? They increase the time because they had a time limit on it for 15 minutes. They increased the time from when you could speak to being an hour. It went from 15 minutes to being an hour. So then they'll be talking shit, saying shit, all kind of little slightful shit. And it's like, I got to sit here and wait for an hour to say something back to y'all. But in all actuality, you know, I ain't asking no questions of error. These are questions that matter, and they're mattering for right now. So they ignored what I was saying. They were trying to play me. It's getting somewhere what I'm saying, right? I said, we got all this. Where's the land at? Where's the stores and all the stuff we supposed to have? Where's the progress? We supposed to be able to see some type of progress from Nuwapu collectively. And if we ain't collectively made no progress since the days y'all was telling us we was going to leave the planet in 2003, all right, there's something wrong. They try to play me, talk about what are you doing? And guess what Dr. Melikazi York did? All right, let me show you how it moves. They had a call. What was it? Today is what, Monday? They had a call on Sunday. And one of the sisters, from what I was told, because it was brought right to me, literally the audio and everything. One of the sisters from Trinidad had a message from the master that she wanted to read, which was a let my words be known, right? Okay, in the let my words be known, not only did he say he would be coming out soon, he also explained, he said and it's interesting, he said 25 years. I'm going to have to go back and look and see what he meant by that. Because we're in 2026, he might be telling us something. But he said for 25 years, he said, none of the brothers have progressed. Boom, 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 boom. He said y'all act as if I've died and there was nothing else more to do. He said you didn't get the land. You didn't have no schools, no temples, none of the stuff, no stores that you could have had, all the stuff that you could have had in motion. He said you didn't do. The brothers didn't do it. He said, so when I come out, he said, not many will see me. Remember I told y'all that. He said, not many will be around to see, to witness it. They won't be able to see me. He said they didn't move. They didn't go anywhere. It was the same things I was saying. The doctrine points, all that was the same things I was saying. That y'all highlight this doctrine stuff, but there's no action behind it. And then you want to talk down on people like myself, like you're doing something great. When the truth is, because I was 3 years old when they locked him up, It's not that you owed me everything, except there was a responsibility that you had to myself and my generation to make sure that not only we were clear about our direction and where we were supposed to go in the Nwupu, but we were also supposed to have the support of the elders no matter where we went. And we didn't have that. So you motherfuckers can't tell me shit. I don't care what you put on. I don't care what you're trying to act like you are. You didn't care about Dr. Melchizedek York. You cared about the relationships you had. You cared about the money that you could make. You cared about the sex you could have. You cared about all of the things you were able to do and the having of your way that you could have with him being absent. That's what you cared about. That's what I bear witness to. You could put on the rest of that, but I get out here to these people. You ain't seen me out here no Aunt Tweet. No, and I could do that. I could easily just put on the uniform and push the doctrine and all this other stuff. But it ain't just about talking no doctrine. What about the man? And the man is saying that doctrine ain't even perfected. So let me tell you what I want. I want the perfected doctrine, and I want the perfected doctrine that comes from the man who was aided and assisted by the people who've been telling me since I was a toddler that they cared about him to be able to get out to give us that perfected doctrine. If not, why the fuck do I want a doctrine that ain't been perfected? You see that? So all the people that's out here pushing it, look at what the bottom base will be. It'll be money. It'll be money. If they can propagate and take some money home, they good. Do they really care? Remember I told y'all, and I'll keep reminding you, about that person that deleted all them books in that link because we were giving it out for free? He deleted all the books. You think these people care about the souls of the masses? They don't care nothing about that. If they can't profit, they don't care. And then look what some of them, like the brothers that was in some of the other chats, was saying. Oh, you know, it's sad that Malachi has to ride away in prison, you know, while people are giving away his work for free, and we could be easily taking that money and putting it towards certain stuff. Hey, man, let me say it how I say it from where I'm coming from. Get your lazy ass up. Get outside and make something of yourself. Get your lazy ass up. Go listen to Dr. York, The Strangest Secrets. Get off the fucking couch and stop selling his work as if it's your shit. And then when people are able to access his work for free, you should cheer, because that means that there are more people who may be coming home. There are more people who may be able to boost right knowledge. It don't have nothing to do with the fattening of your pockets. I sell my books. I sell my shit. I sell my merchandise. I sell my music. I sell the things that I do. If I have a show, I sell my show. I'm not setting up no shop selling his books, trying to act like I'm great. You got another man product trying to act like you great. And you know what's so crazy? He used to give y'all niggas that. He will give you a store. He will give you the books and tell you don't owe him a dime. All you got to do is just make sure the bills is paid. And niggas couldn't even do that. He'll give you a car. He did that. He will give you a house to stay in. All you got to do was make sure the shit is paid. Y'all couldn't even do that. He gave you the land. Just make sure you keep the land. Take care of the land. Don't let him take the land. You couldn't even do that. He give you a culture. Just make sure you really live it. You couldn't even do that. He give you a language. Just make sure you take care of it and let the tone settle in your being and activate the essence. You couldn't even do that. And they trying to go out here and tell people something. I'm telling y'all, those who got ears to hear, don't fall for nobody's bullshit. Don't fall for nobody wearing no namus, none of the new hats, no Ankh tweed, no none of that. Don't fall for no Rahubat, Moisar. Don't follow the Yesar, none of that. Don't fall for none of the people that's out here showing you pictures of them with Dr. Melchizedek York 40 years ago. Don't fall for none of it. When these people come to you, you need to ask them why he ain't out. That's it. You got access to the books. We got links. I tell you who, the bio to go to. Go to 1440 Top Bio and get the books. And you don't got to pay a motherfucker a dime for them books. They got mad at me. You know they talk, right? When I said it the first time, they were saying, he telling people don't support the bookstores. I ain't never say that. Anytime, how many people be around? Anytime we link up, what we do? Only thing is we forgot to do it last time. I guess there was so much going on with the ceremony. Right? But it don't matter because we went to I took a few of us anyway, and we went to support anyway after all of that passed over. When we get together, what we do? We go support the bookstores. You see what I'm saying? We go look out for the elders. We go look out for the people who was here before us. Make sure they getting supported, showing love, and we embrace and we let people see what was here before I was even here. And they get to talk to elders who was here before I was even here. So don't let nobody play this game like Phase One is trying to censor himself. You motherfuckers ain't getting no action. You see what I'm saying? Ain't nothing being done. Don't believe these people. Don't follow behind these people. And when they say stuff like he's saying don't support the bookstores, don't believe them. I'm saying these people that's online pushing all these, I'm going to sell his books, Don't buy that shit from them. Get in touch with us and we'll tell you how to get the books for free. Because they're not sending that money to help Dr. Malachi York. You see what I'm saying? And you ain't got time to just be still believing that. They're not helping him. That's why they delete the shit I say. Because I'm like, how's that an act of kindness? All these people been stealing off his plate. Because they call this shit act of kindness. But they're not helping him. And you would think they would. Ain't no way. Well, look, everything I'm saying, he's saying. That's another thing. When they try to shut down what I say, he come right back around to say the same thing. And then it's like, all right, am I really tripping? If he's saying what I'm saying, that all this doctrine y'all got and ain't no progress being made, and you trying to act like you're separate from these other people, you're not, because you still care about money. That's all it is about for these people, money. And then you thinking that these people that's sitting in the main seats care about them, and they don't. That's one of the toughest things I had to learn. But I just had to stop it real quick to highlight that just happened again. And this ain't new how many people been around. I'll say something, they'll play me, or they'll try to play me. And then he'll do a call, and he'll say the same thing. I say, I don't trust that Williams and Williams shit. They try to play me. He come out and say that Williams and Williams shit was all a game. We had X and Y, Z lawyers looking into it, attorneys looking into it. It was all a game. Okay, you still try to play me? I said, y'all care more about the buildings and the doctrine than y'all care about his freedom. They say, man, you deflecting to my money games. Then he came out and said, stop the money games. No more money games. You see what I'm saying? No money games. He said he was missing one word. I said no more money games to cite after his no more God games teaching. He said no money games right after I said it was 2 days later. So if you think Malachi isn't watching all this stuff, you think, let's say, even if he didn't have a device, right? Because let's say it's not prison. Some people miss what I said. So let's just say it's not prison, even though it's prison, right? And let's say the prisoners don't have no way of finding out what the fuck going on in the real world, even though prisoners be knowing more about what's going on in the real world these days than people that's in the real world. And let's just say it's not Dr. York, because it is Dr. York, right? The master teacher of all time. Let's just say he just sitting in his cell doing nothing, right? Even though he could never sit and do nothing. That's not who that is. They'll type up what's going on in the chats and send it to him. So these people so stupid. When you in them chats, there's people in there typing that shit up, because that's their job. And any of them big chats, from the Help Free Dr. York to the OSM, all the shit y'all be done said, they type it up and they send it right to, I'm not lying. Ask me how I know. They type it up and they send it right to Malachi York. And then you be thinking it's just random when he say certain stuff, or when he tell people, hey, put this message out. No, he watching the whole game. He know who for him and who not for him. He know who playing and who not playing. He hear about this. All the people, a lot of people gonna say, I sent money to do this, or I did this, He gonna say, no, what did you do to help free me? You know what I'm saying? Because look, the Williams and Williams thing again got called out. They said that was fraudulent, right? Okay. And I'm asking people now, okay, so what's the word now? They don't know what the word is now. Now people tell me it's going to be another attorney and da-da-da-da. Listen to what I'm saying. It's so much of that been going on that the Nuwaubians are getting fooled over and over and over again. And I don't know how that's been possible for so long, but they're getting fooled. And I think what they do, because Malachi said it, he said they buy time. So they'll tell you, you're going to hear from this, you're going to hear from this, you 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 hear from this. And then you probably get tired of it. A lot of people don't have that energy behind them to where they can really keep going and then get down to the root of it. And then people don't want to go to hell still. What that mean? That mean because of who Dr. Malachi York is, because of who Malachi is, a lot of the people around him have raised themselves into a seat of importance next to him. What does that mean? That means because of his majesty or his excellency, now they majestic, now they excellent. And I'm telling you right now, the only one who really has that title is him. The only one who got the body of work is him. The only one who can tell what to do, what's going on. When you be a part of this thing, you need to know there's only one huncho. So all these other people out here trying to huncho their chest up, you need to huncho them a question and ask them, okay, all right, if you got the doctrine down pat and you one of the Nuwaubians, you're one of the prophets, tell me, explain. Why is Dr. Malachi Z. York still in prison? Why is Malachi still in prison? You see? It's just that simple. And they say, well, we want to talk to you about the Adamites and how they'll be going in 2060. Say, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Right now, it's 2026, right? It's not 2060. And I want to know, why is Dr. Malachi Z. York, who is 81 years old now, why is he still in prison? You talking to me about 2060. You see what I'm saying? Talk to me about right now and what's going on with that. Are you sure you don't mean to ask me about the injections that people got and how it affect their genes? I don't mean to ask you about that. I don't give a fuck about that. What I'm asking you about is, why is he still locked up? He could tell you the same shit out of prison. You see what I'm saying? And more. Why do y'all insist on getting doctrine after doctrine after doctrine after? Every time you turn around, you asking him for some more shit. Why do y'all insist on prioritizing the doctrine and not the one who can he can tear up the whole doctrine? He can come out tomorrow, literally, and tear up the whole doctrine, tell everybody, get rid of all the books, burn all the books. That ain't even what I came to teach you. I had them folks down my back the whole time. I had to lead them astray, I had to pen. This is what I really want to teach you, and I ain't even going to put it in no books. You got to be around to get this last piece. Right? Okay, now watch this. I asked him a question. I said, why is Dr. Malachi Z. York being called or referring to himself as the Black Messiah? They got mad at me. They said, please refrain from asking questions that have already been answered a countless times. Hey, man, if I just joined your little Telegram, what the fuck make you think I'm finna go and read 2 years worth of fucking responses? Just answer the question. And you know, if you got people out here who could take a piece of information that's elongated and shorten it, you know what I'm saying? Something that's advanced and make it basic and simple and short and sweet for whoever the fuck is around. Why you couldn't just answer the question simple, short, and sweet if you don't feel like it? It took longer for you to write a paragraph of how the fuck I need to go back and read all this other shit that y'all done put in the chat. How about just answer the damn question? You see what it's playing to you? No, people don't answer questions. Why? Because when you answer that question, now you got to engage phase one. They were dodging me. They were dodging me because y'all don't know what y'all talking about. He's saying he's the Black Messiah or the savior of the black race. I said, that don't make sense. What's the black race? Now you got to explain what's the black race. You tired of me now? Because when you make niggas out there explain shit, that's displacing them. They're comfortable in their, I'm going to regurgitate what he says so I can look like a master. What's the fuck is the black race? What are you talking about? How is he sent to the, okay, so he sent to the rapists. He sent to the murderers. He sent to the people that's out there now, that's the black devils that's doing stuff to children. He sent to them. You're not going to tell me that. No, he sent to the military people who will go out there, if they say to, and go out there and commit murders amongst the children and lead bombing campaigns. He sent to the black devils that's in Obama and them family. He sent to the rest of he sent to the black race. He sent to everybody who has the melanin dominant gene only. When you got him teaching the same thing I've been telling people about, the mixing of the genes. That's the first person I heard it from. The mixing of the genes that calls for this melting pot of a reality we got out here. When you can't say you black, what the fuck is black? You don't know what that is. You got so many genes inside. You're not just melanin dominant. You see? So they say, well, you're saying, now you're challenging what Baba is saying. Now you're challenging, but first of all, you don't know who you're talking to. I wasn't raised to just be sitting on my hands. If I'm challenging what Baba's saying, all right, raise up to the challenge. If I'm challenging the doctrine, okay, what the fuck, nigga, you gonna sit here and be sentimental? How about respond and tell me what the answer is to what I'm asking you, as opposed to getting emotional talking about I'm challenging Bob. I don't know about all that. How about when we having an intellectual conversation, keep this shit intellectual, stay on the facts. And if you don't have the facts, just back down. I have Mr. Triad. If you don't have it, let one of my other brothers step in, or somebody else step in, or another sister step in. You don't have the answer. You don't got to tell me what I'm doing. I know if I'm challenging. I know if I'm answering the question. That's the type of mentality people have, that you can't ask questions to Bob. That's not how I was raised. He was the main one who took the questions. And he would say, y'all make sure y'all come with some hard questions for me. Not, y'all better stop asking them these same questions about the Bible and all this. No, ask them the real questions. You know what I mean? I mean, you really want to do it, see if they really a master teacher, ask them a question that you know for sure they ain't finna be able to just answer or just play like they know. See if they have that ability to tune for real or get in touch with that inner side or whatever the hell they want to say. Hey, before you go out here and just regurgitate this doctrine, let's see if your brain work. by itself to be able to stand out here and get that message through and not just repeat something. You see that? So a lot of people have a problem with that. What's the point? He he recited something or spoke on something that came from the Farad Muhammad and tribe of Shabazz, according to the Let My Words Be Known, where he said he wasn't sent to the world. He was sent to the lost tribe only. And the doctrine teaches he's sent for the elite few. You open up a lot of the books, the older books have literally the 144,000, the elite few. That's who they're here for. And then they say, well, he's here for the 144,000. Then that's not the black race. Okay, your doctrine is confusing. You want to know why? I think it's because Allah leads astray who he wills. You're confused. Because this ain't your shit. This ain't your shit. I'm not confused. It make perfect. I know what he's saying, but you don't even know what he's saying, and you're going out here repeating it. That's crazy. You saying he here for the black race, and then you say he here for the 144,000. And then you say there could be some Caucasians on the Hindus. Hey, man, how about this? Say this with me. I don't know what I'm talking about. And the only reason why you get handled like that is because you try to handle me. Why? Why do they try to handle me? Because I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. That's why they try to handle me. They don't know what they're talking about. If he here for the 144,000, that's 144,000, not the black race. That's not everybody. He ain't sent to, I kept saying, this seems so familiar. This story seemed familiar. Because didn't they have a story like that? Where he said he was sent to the lost house and the lost house only, the lost sheep only. That's not the whole black race. So y'all trying to market. Tell the truth. You want to market it so that when you find melanin dominant people, they can buy the book. You don't want to tell them the truth. That's false advertising. You false advertising. Tell them the truth. Tell them, hey, when they grab the book, you hold on to it before they can grab it. Pull them in. Say, hey, look, it's a 50% chance it don't have shit to do with you. You still want it? You don't want to tell them that because you still want to make that dollar. Hey, man, that's some bullshit. Tell them what the doctrine really say. They don't want to tell them what he really said. Tell them he really said that when it's all over, only 9 of you will be with me. That's not enough money for you. You start doing the calculation. You say, I can't make nothing off of that. So what people come and say, all right, so who is this for? You say, this is for the black race. Man, y'all just want $1, bro. The Rizki and Murzaku, they're not coming for the black race. Where is that written? That's not written. They're coming to pick up the black race. That's for little people to think. Ain't no way you ain't. What you talking about? So I said maybe it's because he already taught beyond all of this. Maybe that's why I'm having these questions and y'all can't answer it. But he already taught beyond this, family. Ain't no way we went back to Black Messiah unless y'all needed that. And I ain't mad. If that's what y'all need, that's what y'all need. But hey, hear what I think. And nobody asked me what I think, so who gives a fuck what I think? I think when he get out, he gonna disappear for a second. And I think he gonna pop up somewhere. And ain't nobody even gonna know where the fuck he's at. And if he teach, it's gonna be online. Not around these people, none of that. And he be done did some shit. People don't even know it's being done, or he probably already working on it. He gonna pop up out of nowhere. And if you didn't know about it, you didn't know about it. And he gonna seal the deal. That's what I think. And it ain't gonna have nothing to do with these people out here now. I know all y'all be looking at these people thinking, and y'all falling for it. I keep telling y'all don't fall for it, and I don't want you to think it's because I'm some disagreeable who doesn't want to get along with the family. That's why I took y'all with me when I went to test their spirit, didn't I? I ain't go by myself and come back and say, man, they full of shit. You see what I'm saying? No, I took people with me to go and witness it. Look at what they do. Look what they saying. Look how they acting. Look. The nigga who say he fighting for his father's freedom is flashing money and talking about what people don't have and da-da-da-da. He flashing money, asking for money to help his father. You see what I'm saying? We went and tested their spirit with company. I said, can I open the gates? We opened the gates. 1,000 people came through to witness this. So I wasn't going there and seeing something I ain't like and then coming back and just mad at people. No, I did my best to see if we can integrate and work with the family, da-da-da-da, that's calling itself family. They didn't move like family. They never did. Not since 2022 when I was out there with other folks, all the way up to now. It's been 4 years. And they still don't move like that. Now it's this system they have where I don't know what this thing is with accents, right? But if you got a UK accent, I guess that automatically means authority. Man, please. I ain't been whitewashed. I don't know what the hell y'all got going on. Hey, you want to know what's going to make me think you got some motherfucking authority out here? Help the master get out. Help him. Let me see that. Let me see that action in motion. You get you some followers. You get you some views. Do like I did. Because before these motherfuckers popped out, I had the followers and the views. And what have I been doing? Doing everything I could to aid and assist the master teacher. And again, if I find out that these land folks I've been working with played, I'm not going to stop. That's not how we do it. What I'm going to do, and y'all see me do it. And don't be surprised if it happens sooner than later. What I'll do is I'll come out here and say, all right, now I want y'all, everybody who listening to me, anybody who got their ears on right now, I want y'all to hear me and hear me clearly. Keep your eyes and your ears on that clock. All right, let those who have eyes see, let those who have ears hear. Listen closely, see closely. If y'all see me come out here, I just want you to listen real quick and watch. If y'all see me come out here and I say, enough is enough, time is up, we about to get an attorney for Dr. York. I just want everybody to comment an emoji if you would be a participant. You never seen me do that. You never heard me do that. You never see me come out here and say, we raising money for the master teacher. We're finna get him out. You see me work with people when they were trying to say that they were helping them. But they were asking me behind the scenes if I would come out here and use my platform to help them raise money for whatever that attorney is. And I said, okay, cool. First, make it make sense to me. What is it we're actually working on? And they tried to string me along for 9 months without giving me a right knowledge answer. And I done heard him say, hey, man, what's up with this attorney popping up after all these years? We ain't seen him after all these years. So he got to explain himself for popping up like this. That's how he said it. Right? Okay, but then somebody telling me, man, you ain't helping me, man. You don't want to send no money. Send no money. You ain't make this shit make sense. So and even if I'm going to make a move behind the scenes, it'll be a move behind the scenes. Why? Because if they going to play games, they going to play games behind the scenes. You can play game behind the scene. Get what? But everybody going to know you did it in front of the scenes. I keep receipts of everything, every transfer, every payment, all of that. No matter what it is, everybody think it's Telegram, man. Telegram is a receipt book. I keep receipts on everything. Y'all don't ever notice even when we doing little fundraisers, what I say, after you what? After you send the funds, post it in here. Don't I do that? They don't know who they dealing with. So, okay, if you see me come out here and say the game is up, time is over. Well, yeah, all that. The game is over. Now, I like the first one. The game is up, time is over. You see me come out here and say time over. And I say, we're going out here to get an attorney for Dr. York. How many people going to participate? Because you know I'm not playing. And that will be the last thing. What else could I be able to do? You see what I'm saying? I have to come to the masses. And I'm telling you, the masses are ready. I will tell you that. The people will participate. The people will be on point. The masses out here are going to be ready. You want to know who's going to be the fucking problem when we do that? Watch what I tell you. They can't help it. It's their job. The ones who going to be the problem when we do that would be the Nubians and the Sabaeans. Mostly them Sabaeans. It's going to be them that's going to be a problem. They're going to be doing all the slandering, and watch, it's going to be some of the main ones. Talking about the master don't approve of this, Doc don't like that, he don't move like that, da-da-da-da, whoop-de-whoop. He don't approve of y'all gaming people and stealing money from them for 20 years either. But you don't want to talk about that. He don't approve of y'all turning all his letters and symbols and voice notes into money games and products. He don't approve of that either. But y'all ain't going to talk about that. So I don't give a fuck what you gonna say he don't approve of. If it gets to that point, we gonna go that route. And it'll be quicker than what you think. It'll be sooner than what you think. We'll go that route if they play. Now, again, I'm still waiting at this door. I'm going to have some information for y'all soon. I'm waiting at this door. I done talked to one of these folks. They were saying what they were saying. I said, what's going on with this? And so they talking about compassionate release. I said, okay, cool. That's real good work. It don't got to be me. I don't need it to be me. Just make sure there's something moving to help them. But if they play, oh, yeah, they going. You think they mad now? You think they mad now? It's going to be Horus all over again. You think they mad now? I'm going to war. I'm going to war. No matter where I'm at, I'm going to go to war. They're not going to get away with this. You see? So a lot of people playing games. I know it's hard for y'all to understand it because, like, man, they make shit look so good. All this shit be painted. And, man, y'all got to see beyond the smoke and mirrors. Look behind the veil. That's why we were taught to ask right knowledge questions. That'll get you a right knowledge answer. When you asking questions, focus on the master and him getting out. And don't let them feed your head with a bunch of words. Really look at what people be saying. They say we supposed to leave the planet 2003. Ask them why we ain't go nowhere. They say we supposed to leave 2013. Why we ain't leave? They say we supposed to leave 2023. Why we ain't leave? And if we keep missing pickups, why should we be listening to y'all? Apparently, y'all don't know what you're doing. Maybe if I'm new coming into this, maybe I should just read the books and stay the fuck out y'all temples, stay the fuck out y'all way. Because it don't seem like y'all know what y'all are doing for y'all soul. And if these books have something to do with my soul and me helping myself or my children or my family or my friends or whoever be around when I'm accessing Wu Nuwap or Wu Sabat, then maybe I should be reading the books and not listening to y'all. Maybe the man that's putting the information out and programming it with certain genetic activations, maybe I should just go directly to the source and stop acting like I got to go through y'all. And you don't got to go through phase one. That's what I'm saying. When you speaking, remember one of the sisters came on here was like, she didn't want the confusion, all this other stuff, and da-da-da-da. I said, look, here's what you need to do. You need to be in them books. All right? You need to be in them books. You need to be listening to teachings. You need to be doing that. Because you witnessing me at war, and you thinking this isn't what we do, and you're getting discouraged. So I don't want you to get discouraged and walk away from the whole thing because you don't like how things are moving over here with phase one. You see what I'm saying? Because then you shut down the opportunity for yourself to advance in life. Just go to the books. They don't record and talk about what I really be doing, what I really be saying. They don't record and talk about that. All the stuff that they fabricate, they put out and talk about a slander amongst themselves. They don't talk about how he always points, Phase? Phase one always points to the master. I always point to him. You see what I'm saying? But if we don't have a phase one, all we got is people out here faking the funk. That's all we have. You with me? So for all y'all who coming in new and finding out what this is, man, get them books and read. And I'm not talking about just the Hereafter Doctrine books. Read any book that jump out to you. You hear me? If the whole Hereafter Doctrine reach out to you, grab it and read it. If all the old shit reach out to you, grab it and read it. If only one book reach out, grab it and read it. You see what I'm saying? If the Holy Tablets reach out, that's fine. Patarak reach out, that's fine. Master Seekers reach out, that's fine. Read it and see why. You see? But you be caught up in these people, they're going to let you down. And then you'll be running the risk. What risk, Omari? You'll run the risk of thinking that he letting you down. No, Nuwapu works. Nuwapu is active. It's not a sleeping thing. It's not a resting thing. It's not Sevita. It's not laid out. You see what I'm saying? It's up and active. And this is the day and time where he's saying activate yourselves again. Man, get the information in you and actually apply it. And you say what when we were talking about the language and the sisters teaching the language, they're like, who they gonna speak the language with? I'm like, they're gonna speak it amongst themselves. Or when they come around the family, they'll know the language. Why you saying like they gotta learn it amongst y'all? Y'all don't have y'all shit in order. Every time we turn around, every Sunday call y'all doing, y'all saying we don't have it together yet. So why do I need to bring people to be around a group of people who can't get it together and y'all had 20-something years to get it together? They don't need to be around y'all. It's that simple. And so you can't tell somebody they're not a Sabaean. That's a part of the canon. You see what I'm saying? Everybody's afraid when niggas read it and understand the doctrine. You can't tell nobody who's a Sabaean, who's not a Sabaean. You don't even know that. You don't know whether or not you're a Sabaean. You don't know whether or not you from the stars. You see what I'm saying? So you can't tell nobody whether or not they're nobody in the Sabaean. You can't say that. You see what I'm saying? If they're a Sabaean, it'll be revealed to them and shown to them. But you can't tell them they're not. So they want to speak the language, and they all the way in Canada somewhere at the edge by themselves talking. Let them speak it. They don't have to be around y'all in y'all temple, buying y'all stuff. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to do that. Now, when we move through, yes, no matter what temple we go to, we're going to show support. We're going to show love. That's what we do. That's just how we do it. How many people bear witness to that? No matter what, if we going somewhere, we doing an event somewhere, and I say, yo, everybody bring y'all money, right? Because we're going to support the bookstore or we're going to support the temple. So if you crying to myself, he don't support the temple, maybe I don't come where you at. And maybe it's a reason for that. But I go where love at. You know what I mean? If I can detect that a motherfucker ain't going to try to act stupid, then yeah, I'll be there. You know what I'm saying? And I'll show love. You know what I mean? That's how it goes. So just keep that in mind. Don't be caught up in none of the bullshit. 350 shit. I got to finish.
Man. He know what's going on. And I'll even leave space open for the possibility that I'm being used, you know, in a good way. I leave possibility open for that, you know, when I decided I was going to take the walk, which was very young, and fight, they heard me and they aligned with me. So I don't, you know, only one who I could say is that one here is Malachi. That's the only way people could even play like they near it is just because y'all don't see him right now. And in this world, y'all thing is seeing is believing. Not even understanding belief isn't knowing. That makes sense? So yeah, it's him. It's him. That's why they were like, he want to be a successor. I'm like, these people are dumb. Like, there is no successor. What are y'all talking about? There is no succeeding him. You got to do a whole different thing. It's not, that's it. That's it. You got to explain to me how the fuck this man knew in the 70s about 2030. Y'all ain't even thinking it. Y'all not even thinking of 2030 right now. And that shit number 5 years away. Niggas ain't got a 5-year plan. You're not going to tell me that not only did this man have a 60-year plan called The Hour. Literally, he called his 60-year plan The Hour. He called his 60-year plan The Hour and said, walk with me. Don't run ahead of me. Walk with me. You're not going to tell me this man had a 60-year plan. 60 years. And a part of his plan was to know what the fuck these... And let me tell y'all and show y'all something else I seen today. Look at this shit here. You probably can't see it well, because I can't. But that shit say something to the effect of, scientists say aliens could contact Earth before or by 2029. Researchers believe that extraterrestrials may have intercepted a radio signal that something sent in 2002. Listen, everything's starting to point toward what this man said about 2030, 60 years ago. And boy, don't you start your ass, your 6 months, I'll be back ass. Don't you start, nigga. Because whatever happened to bro who said that in the year 2000, the Hebrew Israelites was going to be getting the fuck on. That Jesus was going to come back and y'all were going to be leaving. You shouldn't be telling me you got 6 more months to come in and come and try to debate me. You shouldn't be saying shit to me. You shouldn't even be your ass here. What happened? Jesus didn't come back in year 2000. That's a false prophet. Yahweh been Yahweh, all the people saying things will happen. These things have not occurred. That was a lie. So, anyway, let me tell you something else that was interesting because it was interesting. You said you need 6 months. You supposed to be 6 months and your ass off of here. Then 3, Dr. Malachi York said that's when a lot of that was going to start where the crowds was going to be coming through. But he said, if they block him, he said this, he said, if we are blocked, we will continue on to the year 2030, attempting to reach y'all and get y'all about whoever the elect would have been. Now, ironically, the year 2003, he was cut off from communication with everybody. This is what he was saying. They cut off his communication. Let's go to the computer. We're going on a trip. To the favorite rocket ship. We're going on a trip. Going on a trip in a favorite rocket ship. Going on a trip in a favorite Okay. So what you're telling me is that you guarantee. Alright. That we were watching earlier, The Man Who Fell to Earth. So y'all need to go watch that shit. That shit live. Alright. Where we at with it? What it is? No, Alright. Did I say Jesus was a false prophet? I don't know what you heard. I don't know how you heard that one. Look at that lady. Look at her lying there. She look like she got caught lying. Huh?
Hell no.
She look like, huh? You talking to me? Huh? No. I ain't going to cookies. With Terrence. Terrence with the cookies. Your ass look like they got caught lying. What's she lying about?
It's now 2000, and 25-year-old Habiba is a mother to two of his children, a 7-year-old boy and a 4-year-old girl.
Why they always trying to use it? Then why you know they be hanging like a motherfucker? They always try to use some blurred out ass picture. That don't even make sense. That don't even make sense for you to do that shit. What the hell? And then they always got to use like a little clip of his voice because his voice too damn powerful. Hold on, where is that?
For all these years, I have sisters, but there's still one barrier she
You got a good picture. Where your voice at?
talked to her mom, and it was like New York's permission. She must hire herself.
Whoever did this documentary is ass. You could have asked me.
And to escape what was a bull. It was became red. Anyone said it?
Oh yeah, they ain't even want to put his voice on the trailer. Y'all know better. Every time they do a documentary about, they use his voice like in 3 points, 3 positions. One in the beginning, one in the middle, one at the end. It'd be like 3 seconds. They don't even let him finish just sit it. They don't want his voice to be nowhere. They be like, don't believe it. All right, and then that's when, as soon as he started talking, they be cutting that shit. Don't believe it. They don't want him to talk at all because voice too powerful. Sound familiar?
Co-producer is going to give you.
They don't want to hear the true life.
Actually fits your track in seconds. Let me show you. First, let it listen.
Open with a son of Anu, but it was son of the ninth Anu. When you open only in the Arabic word meaning took place in Egypt. Egypt that as we met was there, and what was talking took place. You had the planet shifted. Just by the judge trying to lock down his master, he's going to tell the whole world he's not something. That's the fact that they're benevolent and attack the person. Mix of the devil with. They don't dress the way we say dress. But they don't do this here. They don't do this. They got to do it when we say you're a big guy. They know you're a big guy. So everybody come. I'm not talking people walk like me, talk like me, be like me. My father, they can't. You follow? What I'm saying is, they just like none of the Muslims who really be behind, but none of the Christians who really be Jesus. That's what I'm saying? Right. You or procedure you follow. And lay it all out. Between the teacher and the father, form little cliques and little sub-cliques. They want to make like they're in contact with Anunnaki, or they want to make like they're in contact. They want to make like the dead boy books. Some people call them some people call themselves Nubius, and some people call themselves Mikael. You know what I mean? They get crazy.
Listen to what he's saying. This is a good part right here. Well, what's going on now?
They make the preacher and the man. So they got you hanging about a man like everybody else. Every time you make a man like everybody else, then you show why. Then why don't you have as much intelligence? When you make me as equal as you, then all you do is you're inefficient.
Exactly. He said, okay, well, people be like, oh, he's just a man like everybody else. He said, every time you make me just a man, he said, then why don't you have as much intelligence? Every time you try to make me just a man, he said, you only showing your insufficiencies or inefficiencies.
So that's what that is. It's really coming from a lot of people, like, oh, you know, a lot of guys out there just
Boom. He says a lot of ego tripping. This is 2004, by the way. This is Malachi Z. York speaking in 2004. He says a lot of people that's going to want to take portions of what I teach and just use it to benefit themselves.
Come on.
Like, come on, listen.
It's really coming from a lot of people. Like, well, even a lot of y'all out there just want to take portions of what I teach and then change it to suit themselves. And then use it to pull women.
Use it to pull women. Listen.
Form little cliques.
Form little cliques. And sub-cliques. Look at what happened.
Want to make like they're in contact with the Anunnaki.
They want to make like they're in contact with the Anunnaki. Excuse me, man. This is fucking sneezy. I'm so sneezy lately. That wasn't even a sneeze. It was a cough. But it was slick a sneeze. It was keys. It was a snuff.
They want to make like they're they want to make like they're
They want to make like they Marduk. They want to make like they one of the 23 I'm in Newbie this. Now he got Anubis. We got Anubis out here. We got Tahuti out here. This man was saying this shit before even this shit even happened out here like that. Like, what the fuck? This is in 2004. Look, 13 years ago. Well, they put it up. They put it up 13 years ago, just to be clear. But this is from 2004. Exactly. He said they get crazy instead of just staying in their place. He said this ain't no joke. He said this ain't no Boy Scouts of America. This is real. Don't you see the prophecies unfolding? He's talking about the things that he was saying coming to pass. Don't you see the climatic changes? Don't you see the devil has lost all his power in the world? The Nibiru has been sighted. The 10th planet has already been sighted. And now the government is talking about it. They're saying, oh, we see some type of thing moving through the solar system, or some large craft, some mother plane, da-da-da-da. And then everybody talks about it for 3 seconds, and they go on about their life.
The storm of meteorites are coming towards this earth. The water has been poisoned with wormwood. You can't tell the men from the women. The animals being born with 2 and 3 heads, frogs with 2 and 3 legs. People double up on side streets, more diseases and pestilence that they can control. The ice caps are melting. It's the sun, the ozone layers getting lost. Don't y'all see that the prophecies are fulfilling themselves? It's time to holy tablets. Everything is opening up. But then people gonna take this point and start ego tripping.
Come on. He said, can't you see all this stuff is opening up and you're going to take this point to start ego tripping? You're going to ego trip now and we done got this far? This man he's been walking since the 60s, teaching and moving and making this be what it is now. Y'all going to ego trip off this shit now and try to act like you this and you know you ain't in tune, you know you ain't that? Making people waste time, valuable time they can't get back.
Right. Talking about if the devil's asking for the people, they can't conclude that's the one. It ain't those other people. He's the one with the knowledge. That's the man with the right knowledge.
He said the government came and snatched him off the streets. He said, because they said he's the one. It ain't these other people. That's the one with the right knowledge. You can hear him saying these things. They won't refute it.
Everything is opening up. But then people gonna take this point and start ego tripping. Right. Going off on the devil's asking for the people, they can't conclude that's the one. It ain't those other people. He's the one with the knowledge. That's the man with the right knowledge. That's the man we gotta get rid of. Right. What is that? We're on the street. They knew what I represented. They know I represented nothing but facts. Right. They know I have a belief about it. They know I always took a belief in this belief. It sounds good in conversation. They know I want no facts. It's not true. Throw it away. If that's not true, throw it away. That's not confirmed. Throw it away.
Come on.
They don't need a generation black from wrong like that. If people new beings with the one being coming up with that mentality, so I want to believe nothing you say. You can't prove anything you said.
Come on.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's a tactic the devil's using, and without how much I write, how much I try to explain, how much I teach. You follow? Yeah, niggas ain't gonna listen because there's always a nigga sitting up in the crowd who wants to touch his wife with his girlfriend and he's as smart as I am.
Come on.
That's what he needs, is he might buy it. But if he does because he's afraid that he get around the land, get around brothers that are smart and really study, really, really put their heart in it to the letter, that you see, one of them ain't really studied.
Come on.
Walk in, he's funny.
Come on.
One of them stores no sleep, one of them still gets drunk, one of them still, run around for vulgarity, chase a bunch of different women. You'll see how phony it is, so you gotta stop them from coming to land, set up different places, all kind of games. Right. So when actuality does, how many folks are right? These people are not going to follow it to make a difference. The devil pounds, so stay on it. And where I'm going, the devil's trying to...
Hey, Taza, you about to get blocked, bro. Like, what the fuck are you here for? You about to get blocked, bro. You understand that? You don't understand what Dr. Malachi Z. York teaches? What you read, like one article, and you think he teaches about Anu? We studied the Sumerian doctrine. We weren't taught to believe in Anu. Y'all be so clueless. But you cannot stay around. You will not be allowed to stay around if you can't be quiet and realize your place. Your place is a trooper for the Hebrew Israelites. You are a believer of the Hebrew Israelite doctrine, and you're not even fully loaded. Your battery not even charged. You need 6 months. So I shouldn't be hearing anything out of you other than a right on, a con, or anything in the language you want to stick. You should only be standing in the center right now. You can't say anything because you got an opportunity to come up here and represent your brothers, and you failed so miserably that you keep coming back to remind us of that. We moved on, but you want us to remember every day that you failed, and you're still within that 6 month period. It ain't been nothing but 3 days. You haven't even, it hasn't been 3 days, family. You still got another 5 months and some odd days to go. Why are you talking about Malachi York? He beat your school already. He speak Hebrew. You was right down the street when we got on live. What made you think you were ready for us? Hold on, let me show you something. Just for you. Just for you. Let me show you something. Just for you. Ask a small person. Okay, we answer this question. Ask a small person. Okay. You need to shut the fuck up. You probably need to shut the fuck up. 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 He wrote a whole book asking questions to everybody that's a part of your little thing. And to this day, y'all haven't been able to shut it down. With the sky crack open, will it be in 6 months? If it's not within 6 months, shut the fuck up. Will it crack open within 6 months? If not, I don't give a fuck. Let it crack. You ain't gonna read this and figure out what you're gonna do about somebody who grew up reading it. When the sky crack open, Blade, shut your dumb ass up.
Right. All that they didn't want this day coming out taking up all the books, all the teachers over the years, pulling around and saying, so now this is what I was saying. And they knew that was coming. They knew that was starting in 2003.
He already said. He said they knew that was gonna start 2003. Listen what he about to say.
They knew what I was doing in 2006. Knew I had that 3.5 years, emphasized the Bible, taking from 2002 to 2003 June. They knew in June of 2003 what I was gonna do on the land. Basically, let's get on the street. Then, we don't care how we do it, what, that's not careful about those. Let's get this man off the street before 2003. Cut him off from the street. That's why other inmates get bond, other men go out, I was going off the telephone. Maybe for the whole year 2003 there was no contact.
He said they made sure the whole year 2003 there was no contact. This man speaks truth, y'all. In his book, The Holy Tablets, that he wrote decades before May 8, 2002, he said that in 2003 they were going to block him. In this very book, y'all, he said they were going to block him. And they did.
Yep.
This man speaks truth. This man speaks truth. We can go to any part of this book. What did it say? I just opened it up randomly, right? Let's see what happens. In Malachi, I'm going to show you what happens. Lo, in Malachi's adult restraint, Halel and his Garubat, his 200 fallen Anunnaki of heaven, from coming back to afflict mortals or lead them astray. He, Malachi's adult, guarded the planet Earth around all sides, so that in Malakut, the sultans and the heavenly host in mirth sound him Eliashur, the savior of mortals. Anu rebuked them. Look at he put it in all caps. He said, nigga. Anu, nigga. Look, y'all can't make it up, right? Y'all can't make it up, right? Y'all see me just grab this shit, right? Y'all see me just grab this book, right? That nigga said, nigga. Anu rebuked them, saying to them, they that sow in mirth or in sorrow, but even the mortals, with their wisdom, saw not what was in store for their Najahat. Najahat, niggas, not playing. Successors, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh continent on the planet Earth, Adam. The news bearers, the 4 Anunnaki of the Etherian species, with their thousands of assistants, Anunnaki, dwelt on the planet Earth with the faithful, whom they inspired in peace, rites, and ceremonies. These celestial beings inspired them in worship to Anu, nigga, and prayer, psalms, and sacred dances. They dwelt with them day and shadow hours. They even talked to their spirits when they slept. They led the mortals by inspiration to happy marriages, and they might beget offspring according to the command of the voice of Elion, Elion El, who says, Kum, exist. and that which he commands comes into existence. And in each of the three locations, the faithful became as communities of brothers and sisters. And there came to them people by the tens of thousands and joined them, living as the faithful Sarafat and Malakut in peace. They casted out their wealth into the hands of the rabbis for the benefit of the poor. But the faithful were mostly poor people who mainly inhabited many of far regions. However, the rulers' people were rich and had large cities and abundance of elephants, horsemen, camels, and cheetahs. The faithful had little learning as to schools and instruments for measuring the stars, moon, and sun, for their knowledge was from the Anunnaki. The knowledge of the faithful pertained mostly to perfecting the soul, but the knowledge of the rulers' people pertained mostly to earthly matters and to the gratification of self. These were the people that had to relearn the glories of Elion El, the Most High, so that there would be a balancement throughout the planet Earth. This is how it was recorded, and this is how it will be. Now, I just touched this book and opened it up, and it go right to him talking about Anu. Hold on. Hold on. He finna cook. Hold on. What's going on? Hold on. Let me show you the divinity that these people that y'all be following lack. Lo, let us speak to you about the best of my students.
Hey, time out.
I just closed the book and I closed y'all in it. That man said, nigga. That nigga said, lo. Let us speak to you about the best of my students.
Hey, time out.
Hold on, you didn't hear what he says. I'm going to go ahead and read it again. Three times. Lo, let us speak to you about the best of my students. The fuck? Like, nigga, what? 6 months where? He was called Adafa, who was called in tones Achnuk or Enoch, and in rhythm Idris. He was the son of Silham and Jared, who was the son of Mahalaleel, who was the son of Canaan, who was the son of Enos, who was the son of Seth, who was the son of Kadmon, who was the son of Atum and Lilith. He was faithful as the sea, was born of the earth, yet his soul lives in my house, the garden of Malakut. He could call every star by his name, and he knew every Anunnaki by their name, be they Sarafat or Garabat, Seraphim or Cherubim. He was born in the land of Kadmon, near the two Niles, just beneath Havilah and just above Cush. Adafa, son of Jared, begot Methuselah at 65 years of age. He lived to witness 365 years. Adafa's wife was named Taliba. Taliba was the daughter of Jared's brother, Salhan. Methuselah at 187 years begot Lamech, who in tones is Lamech, but in rhythm he's called Lamech, who lived to be 182. This Lamech is not to be mistaken with the Lamech, father of Tubal-Cain, who bore the 7 curse. He begot our son Utnapishtim, who is called in tones Noach, and in rhythm Nuh. From the times of the rain and flood, he was also known as Zeusudra. Methuselah was mystified about his father Adafa's death, so when his time came, he refused to die, telling Israel that he couldn't until he knew what had happened to his father. Only a newsbearer could tell him. So at 969 years of earth time, he waited for our servant Utnapishtim of the agreeable seed. The newsbearer Utnapishtim was born to Lamech, the son of Methuselah, in 1056. 3 years later, the perfect and noble Adafa walked into the realm of Elion El. Utnapishtim spent much of his youth up to age 13 with the venerated Methuselah, explaining Adafa's translation up through the 7 heavens on to Malakut. One more time. We just went over all this. Explaining Adafa's translation up through the 7 heavens on to Malakut. Dissecting his name in the original language, we learn about the character of this man, Adafa, who was also called Enoch, meaning one who studies, and Idris from Darasa, to study, and Darasa, instruct, teach. Hence, Adafa was a student of the Anunnaki or extraterrestrials. He studied like an Anunnaki, even though he was born in his planet Tiamat Earth. It was indeed an extraterrestrial plan, or simply Plan E.T., the master of wisdom.
Come on.
Need I keep going? Where we at with it? Okay, I'll read this little piece right here. When warned of the poisons it contains, the reaction is to disregard the warning, and you find some excuse, and you eat it anyway. However, the self, which is pure consciousness that is beyond the mind, which is read from the mental, it is the witness of all that is perceived. I just realized witness is witness, like of the mind. The plane of truth and about it, the plane of reality. It neither acts nor reacts, for all action and reaction takes place in the mind, which received its info from the mental reservoir, appearing and arriving as thought waves to the mind. Thought, the most powerful force in the universe, initiates all action in the brain. Activity carried out on Nasut, the physical plane in which ye abode, is only a mirror of the inner workings of the mind, that which is assumed to be reality. The physical environment in which each person lives is only a projection of the mind. In truth, when the many mental modifications are resisted, one is no longer affected by the comings and goings of the world, and self shines forth in undisturbed purity. When the truth waves, or when the thought waves, are still, the perceiver rests in his or her own nature. Listen, we just talked about this. The state of pure consciousness is achieved when the mind is no longer modified by the activities of thought waves. When the waves of a lake are stilled, one can see the bottom clearly. Let me not continue. Let's pick another random page. Oh, yeah. Cartman planted these seeds, and two great vineyards grew. And as the grapes ripened, Halal wished to have one for himself. Possessed by avarice, Halal seized one of the vineyards and then raised a wall around the vineyard to keep it from Cartman. Cartman then asked him what right he had to construct a wall around the grapevine. Halal replied, "Oh, y'all, real quick, my phone been there. Hold on. This shit been thugging out on 1%. Alright. Hold on, I'm gonna run again. I think it's two pieces of this too. It's two books of this. My point is, look at, they gotta be able to do this, y'all. You gotta be able to do something like this. This is one of his books. You gotta be able to do this. You got to be able to create something like this first. And then come talk shit. Because this is so many. Look, all of this, the Hebrew Israelite, everything. Right? Let's see. Generation of Abraham, you got all these different chapters in here. He understands way more about y'all religion than what y'all understand. Which is upon the face of the earth. And every tree which is a fruit, this shall you eat in. Every beast of the earth and every fowl of the air. And everything that creepeth upon the earth or in the seas shall be your food. All that is good and healthy sustaining, you may eat for all times. As of your drink, drink freely from the juices of the fruit, and the nectar of the plants, and the liquor of the vines, drink of them freely, but do not become intoxicated. For this is unhealthy for both the body and the mind. Take in no intoxicating poisons, nor should you inhale intoxicating fumes. They're basically saying don't drink, don't smoke, don't become intoxicated. Nor chew or inject any intoxicating substances into the shell that houses the presence of Allah, that you manifest in flesh. Remember, I was just telling y'all, if you're being told to stop doing a thing, right? We just went over that. If you're told to stop doing a thing, then you're one of us. So pay attention to how we turn to this page, and he's talking about stopping all the stuff I've been saying on my page, stop doing. All right? And if you think I just planned that, then that's fine. Think what you want. This is a great injustice, and it will not go unattended. The way of the herb is the way of the Anunnaki. But the Hittites taught Abraham to eat flesh. Well, I'm just talking about that. Sacrifice on altars to their deity, Dana. He taught things such as dress as you feel and wear whatever is appropriate for you according to environment and climate. Present yourself however you feel and whatever is pleasing to you. This is your right. And as for procreation and sexual gratification, that is left up to you. For you are the Elo of your own temple. Do with it what is pleasing to you, remembering and respecting he who fashioned it. Your sexual preferences for delight and pleasures and reproduction, it is only that you do what is fair and healthy to your body. These were the laws and commandments given to the Adamites to be obeyed without changing it forever. There is not one person, race, tribe, generation, gender, or species that is above another in the eyes of El. All people are his children, well, sick, or diseased. Abraham would enforce this law, but he must first abolish the Canaanite idols amongst whom he lived. Nona, his mother, was born in the land of Chaldea and Syria, also of the seed of Shem. The Shemites are descendants of Shem, namely Elam, Ashur, Arphaxad, Lud, Aram. The Shemites were people already settled in West Arabia. The name Assyria is derived from the name Ashur. This would suggest that the people of Shem, who became a part of the Assyrian Empire, were mainly Ashur, and not of the other people. Therefore, Abram's mother was also from the pure seed. Abram was the individual who was expected to change the world. Nimrod tried to keep the worship of Anu and the Anunnaki to the people. However, before Abram met Melchizedek, he was teaching the people to worship the Canaanite deities. He placed these idols in temples and commanded the inhabitants of the... Yeah, it's going to be hard to kind of read that without the natural light. But I think we get it. One more. I tell you, this is a beautiful book. It covers so many things. Oh, yeah. By Azazel, who is Nakash, or Samael, who is Hillel and Shaitan, the evil one. To him ascribe all sin. And to Nusku, who bore the title Nusku, said, Anu, proceed against the bastards and the reprobates, and against the children of fornication, and destroy the children of the watchers, original 24 elders from amongst me. Send them one against the other, that they may destroy each other in battle. For 6,000 years in length of days shall they not have, and no request that they make of you shall be granted unto their father on their behalf. For they hope to... Okay, I want to be a part of this, or I'm going to start using this rhetoric, or I'm going to make a TikTok. No. I literally was given the mission at 5 years old. I'm 26 now. Okay, so 21 years ago, I decided that I was going to do what you see me doing now.
So you
it was a part of my life.
Yeah. Okay. That's what's up. So what you said the game got infiltrated, so you think it's a lot of false prophets and a lot of, just...
I know it's a lot of them.
Yeah.
I know it's a lot of them. Yeah, what do you think?
Nah, for sure. And, people just... Anything gonna get infiltrated, after some time, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be false prophets and everything, pretty much. And that's just everything, how it's gonna happen, Ain't everything, everybody don't come with that authenticity. People just, try to make a quick buck or whatever the case may be.
That's what
it's easy to lead people straight. So,
that's what this is. You have to understand that. People are after a dollar. That's why they don't come together as a community. Everybody's attempting to build their own brand, their own business, keep it a solo, individualized thing. So you never see it manifest in the so-called material plane. It'll all be here on this digital plane. You know what I'm saying? In the air or the ethers. And it becomes a lot more ether talk than actual talk. You know what I'm saying? What's playing to you? So, yeah.
This game, you're not ready for it.
The issue is, it's the whole lineup. The whole lineup of the spiritual teachers is false prophets. So then all of the students, what are they going to in turn do? Just like the angels of light. When the angels of light came out, when they spoke up in the biblical scriptures, it's people that were supposed to be disguising themselves as angels of light, but they were really angels of darkness or deception or evil. Or they say they act like they're the lambs, but they really the wolves or the rams, you know what I'm saying, trying to disguise themselves. Right. All of these students going to wind up taking up after them. So them students want to be just like them. So them students going to have them same rhetoric points and them same talking points. Nobody's researching what they said. Nobody's looking into it. Nobody's going through the orders to make sure that you even qualify to have certain information to use it and put the plans into action. And everybody just jumping up like if I make an account and start posting Instagram videos or TikTok videos, then now I'm one of those ones that change the world. That's not how this goes. There's a lot more work that goes into, especially this thing. You see what I'm saying? So it's not hard. If I were to ask you this question, how do you determine who's a false prophet in today's day and age? How do you determine that?
You kind of got to break down what they're talking about and really fact check them and see if they really know what they're speaking about. Exactly. They can't just be saying shit because a lot of people recycle information and they seem, woke or, but I feel like you gotta dig deep, the nitty gritty. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's just you know when it's recycled knowledge because it's all on the internet. It's not hard to repeat some shit that you hear. Yeah.
So, they didn't get the language they're speaking. English didn't come from inside of them. It's cap. They didn't get these words that they're using when they get these downloads talking about they done learned about carbon or they done learned about different forms of genetic buildup or DEA or whatever. That's not coming from no inside. That's coming from the words that already existed prior. You're piecing them together to try to present a new word. But you don't understand, when there's a science that already exists, it's because those scientists done took decades at times to put information into that field. Mathematics, all kind of stuff, formulas. You see, when niggas be at the chalkboard, they really be figuring it out. So when you just come and put three letters together and now you think you understand it, there's going to be a conflict there. And then people are going to try to understand it from where you're coming from, and then they'll be lost. But then they're going to decide that they get it, or they're going to decide they know it. You want to know why? Because a lot of times people become fans of whoever bringing the information.
Right.
It just be about being fans.
Definitely. Yeah. It just become entertainment for real.
Yep.
Yeah. But I definitely understand what you're saying, brother. But shit, other than that, I want to get your perception on like, what do you think about the times that we currently in? Can you like break that down to us and really help us understand the times that we are living in as of right now?
I think it's a good time that we're living in. We're in the middle of another industrial technological revolution, right? Where things are going to change technologically. You're looking at AI and all the things it's able to do. The quantum computer is advancing. I think it's a great day in time. You got all these people on the internet. The misinformation age and the information age are at war with one another. We're going to see which reality is able to survive. Whoever reality survives, it will be based off of what people did or the conscious variable of people. You see what I'm saying? So I think it's a great period of time if people allow it to be. Some people might not see it that way. Some people are going to look at it as a dreadful day. They said it'll be a great day for some, dreadful day for others. I see it as a great day because now, especially with voices like mine coming out, challenging everything. The spiritual community didn't want me to challenge them. They were okay when it was challenging the religions. They were okay when it was challenging Christianity, Islam. They were okay when I was challenging politics and the government and all this stuff. But when I started challenging these ones who call themselves chosen, all this stuff, then I became an agent, all this other stuff. They want to discount and disqualify all those times that I was coming at the regime itself, the establishment, the capital, everything, speaking on the things that they set up that was fallacies. But nobody is exempt. So if you got this much truth coming out, everybody has the opportunity of whether or not they're going to listen. That's a great thing. You see what I'm saying? No matter what, they can say there's wars over here. Okay, we'll see wars and rumors of wars. The end ain't yet. It's not something for me to worry about. You know what I'm saying? And if people are in their mindset to be able to claim, I'm chosen, I'm this, I'm that, then it's important for you to make certain connections now. You can't just play chosen. Now you got to figure out who's doing the choosing. If you believe in extraterrestrials like Arcturians and Pleiadians and Draconians and all this other stuff and Greys, and then you hear about these other extraterrestrials who may be potentially melanin-dominant people or people alike or humanoids, and they're able to decide whether or not they're going to take people from the planet before it's destroyed. Okay, well then, if I believe in extraterrestrials and that whole story, I'd be doing everything in my power to make sure I was a part of that group or my children were a part of that group like they did in the movie Knowing. I don't have time to be sitting here faking the funk. I don't got time to be sitting here talking about divine downloads. You mean you're telepathic? Because who's giving you the message? If these are divine beings or godly beings or extraterrestrials, then you must be telepathically inclined. Okay, well then, what am I thinking? And then watch them pull this card. They'll say, oh, I can't do it on cue. All right, you know how to do push-ups, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. So if you ask me to get down and do some push-ups, am I going to be like, I can't do it on cue? You see what I'm saying?
No, you don't. Yeah.
I'm just going to do the push-ups. It's not that hard. If I'm a rapper, somebody has to say freestyle. I'm going to be like, I can't do it on cue. Or rap that song, I can't do it on cue. That's a staller. If you're really telepathic, it's what you are. Ain't no such thing as give me a few days, I'm going to come back with a message. No, I'm not going to give you Google research time. Whatever information you're able to access from these higher planes and dimensions and extraterrestrials, do it right then when I say do it. Or you're lying.
If you really true, if you really that in tune, I got
really
you.
that. Because why wouldn't you want people to know? Let the truth show. And then expose me to be not only a liar, a heckler for no reason. I'm just an antagonizer because damn FaZe, why you come at them and you just showed that they showed that they was able to do it for real, so now you do it, FaZe. And then you can flip the polarities. You see what I'm saying? But no, they want to play these telepathic games, these divinity games. So those people are going to have a hard time now because they're not willing to let go of the illusion. That's going to be dreadful for them. But for everybody when they talk about shadow work, everybody wants to push shadow work off on the world. Shadow work is a you thing. What are you lying about? What illusion are you trying to keep up so that people don't see who you really are? You understand that? And then if somebody meets you and say, listen, how about this? If you're really that, do that right now. Or if you're really that, show me that, explain me that. And you say that's too deep or it isn't for everybody, you're being exposed. And you want to know who's the most important person in that whole situation when you're being exposed? You are. Because you'll never forget that moment, and then you'll try to pile more things on top to cover up that it happened.
Right.
So it'll be dreadful for you. But it's a great day for me.
Okay. Okay, I'm with you, man. So, in your words, in your perception, what is God to you? What is the Most High to you? In your words, in your perception.
In my perception, God is a word.
Okay.
Most High is a word that's composed of two words. Sometimes people put them together. Sometimes people separate them. These are words. And then once we define what the words are, we don't have to speculate or have a perspective. As long as we can get down to the literal bottom or the root of what the word is, or God is a ruler, or God is some type of supreme being, otherworldly type being, someone that has higher status. Okay, I'm not that tall. I think I might be like 5'7", 5'8", somewhere around there, 5'6", something like that. How tall? You know how tall you are?
I'm like 5'11".
Okay, cool. So you would be taller than me. So if we walked in the room together, who's the most high?
Shit, me.
Simple. You see, most high is just like an uninformed way of saying highest. He said the most high. Okay, well that's speaking in terms of levels or degrees or what? Height.
Right.
That's what it means. So if people are going around saying the most high, they need to know what they're saying. Because I'm going to ask them a question. Who is that? Like you just asked. Who is that? You want to know what they're going to say? The source, the creator. They don't know any of those things. They're just making it up. They're freestyling. If I go and pull a dictionary, Webster's or whatever, we can pull at least what the word said it meant. So then we can deal with it that way and say, okay, if we don't agree with this definition, we need to change what we're saying. So there will be no what? Confusion.
So you believe in yourself, right? Like you don't believe that there's a creator over you. Like over
I don't know whether or not there is. I don't have a belief about it because I just don't know. So belief is to accept something that I don't know.
Right.
But I'll still accept it as if it's true. You see what I'm saying? Like you told me you're 5'11", I could just believe that. I don't know that until I could see you measure yourself. You know what I'm saying? And you stand
So all you believe in is what you because you know you exist.
No, I don't believe in me. You see, you said it's a difference. I'm walk with you. You said believe in you, then you said you know you exist. Yeah, I know I exist. Then I has to come into conversation of what is I. The difference would be, okay, if I know I exist, then what am I? Who am I? Who is this I thing? You with me? Who is this you thing? What is this identity that we think we have? You get me? When people get to say, I know myself, and I tell people this is one of the new things that they have in the struggle with. Every time I put out new information, people, they get together, they try to struggle to figure out how can we combat what he just said. But they can't combat it. Because how are you going to know yourself right now? Okay, if I raise my hand, you can see my hand right there, right?
Yeah.
But you don't see all of the cells that are inside of the hand. You don't see all of the atoms that are inside of the hand. You're not able to view my hand on a quantum level. And even if you were able to, you would still have to deal with the fact that every moment this hand is changing. There are cells that died when I held my hand up, and there are cells that were being birthed. Okay? The presence of the blood flow shifted. So even with just my hand alone, no human being even lives long enough to compass the knowledge of the hand, let alone the finger, let alone the atom. They can't fuck with
The atom changes positions every moment.
They can't fuck with him. I'm sitting here listening to me. This is why it's like, yo, man, leave this nigga alone. That's why. I'm listening to me. And I'm me. And I'm like, I get it. This nigga too fast for his realm. Whatever you give him is going if he take interest into it and consume it, he'll be able to spit it out with a whole different, you wouldn't even know what it was made of. The contents are going to shift by the time he done with it. People been taught to know themselves for thousands of years, and he just explained you can't. And he just got here, and he explained how, scientifically, you can't know yourself. That shut down a lot of the shit these people out here pushing. That shut out some of these people Instagram handles. Yeah, they ain't gonna fuck with them, because you can't fuck with them. That's why.
You see what I'm explaining to you? Meaning it's shifting within itself. It's not still. The only still would be the fact that there's a cycle. There's still a cycle, but that cycle is in motion. You see what I'm explaining to you? So I would never know who I is or what I am or what a you would be. I can't know that. I can have an idea of it. You see? So if I say I know myself, even that would be an illusion. If I say I know I exist, I don't know I exist. I can say that I know I exist because I'm experiencing me as an existing being. However, me is still an illusion because what is me? You see, I'm experiencing the idea of me. I'm experiencing the idea of you.
Work today is broken. Every day, people juggle so many different tools just to get work done. A simple task.
You with me? So no, I don't believe. I don't even believe in me. That's why I said, what do you mean by that? I believe in myself. If you talking about believe in yourself, said I can do it. I can do it. Okay, yeah. But if you say believe in myself, I don't know whether or not I exist. As far as I know, I don't exist.
Right. So we trying to
make me a concept that I made up. Go ahead.
Right. So we trying to like basically as humans just grab the concept of creation by coming up with these words and these beliefs, trying to, you know, but what if it really wasn't for us to understand? You know what I'm saying?
Even if it was, the route of attempting to act like you know and you don't know, that ain't how you find out.
Right.
You have to actually go and do what the scientists are doing. They've been doing the same thing the conscious community doing, except they've been actually doing it. They're looking for answers too. They're questioning things too, but they don't accept that they know something. And then they do it to such a point or such a degree that after they done figure something out, they carried out an experiment and they got a peer review, they say, nah, nigga, run it back. Cause we could still be wrong. Even with all the empirical data and scientific evidence, they'll say run it back. We could still be wrong. That's why you have a scientific field that get advanced damn near every century. It ain't the same shit when it used to be this way, but now it done changed. You see what I'm saying? They using these words and I say, nah, we gotta switch that. We figured out the periodic table. And niggas walk outside and step on some new elements and say, niggas, we gotta go back. You see what I'm saying? We gotta do it again. You with me? So it's the question is, why do you wanna know? Why do you wanna know all of that? If you were supposed to know all of that, you wouldn't be a human being right now.
Come on.
That's almost as if to say you don't value the experience of being human and not knowing.
Come on.
So you're taking it for granted. Because what says you want to know all of that? You saw the movie Fountain of Youth?
Oh, no, I never heard
it.
It
just came out. Watch it. You know what I'm saying? You don't give a damn about spoilers, do you? Or do you?
No, I don't give a fuck. No.
Okay, cool. So I would say this. At one point in the movie, you're going to hear one of the characters talk about nobody's ready to know everything. You don't want to know everything. You'll see what I'm saying in the movie. Because shit, it will age
I
you.
don't even think we ready to fathom everything for real. And I also feel like everything is not everything. Like creation continues. So, like you said, like the example you gave, the periodic table, and it's something else, and then it may be something else after that. It's a continuum of creation. So, like maybe it probably wasn't meant for us to know everything. Just observe what you can, whatever experiences you have, and kind of just go off your experience.
Yeah,
and
there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know. This is what I'm doing. You understand? I'm enjoying the experience of whatever this is.
Right.
If there's something for me to know, I'll find it. If it's not for me to know, I can't find it. I won't find it.
Because it wasn't meant for you in the first place. I mean, I feel like, because I tell people all the time that like, don't worry about nothing that hasn't been presented to you, because obviously it wasn't for you to observe or for you to know.
Yeah.
So it's like your truth is life should be your truth teller. Your experiences, nobody can take that away from you because you experienced that. So anything outside of that, unless you ain't experienced it or you shouldn't even worry about it. And that's how I feel like people should take life. But,
exactly. I agree with you.
So the demiurge, right, that, a lot of people talk about. When did you awaken from the illusion of the demiurge, and how was that experience?
I experienced the illusion of the demiurge. You see what I'm saying? Meaning it was never something that I accepted as my own. We grew up knowing that the demiurge stuff belonged to them Greek people at their given time. It wasn't even of interest of mine to even take on their culture. You see what I'm explaining to you? So I never took that on as mine. I practice Egyptian culture. I practice so many different types of cultures. But when it comes to them Greeks and Plato's and the rest of them, I wasn't interested in that. So I know about the story. I know about it being about the realm of deficiency or the realm of illusion and how somebody fell, like similar to the Lucifer story, Iblis story in the Quran, where Satan fell from heaven. Okay, well, Sophia falls from heaven and she's in an illusionary world, and she's trapped in that illusionary world, alienated from who's called the Most High or the One. Still, it falls into the same category as everything else. I don't know that happened. I don't even know that they're speaking on a real story. That could have belonged to a secret organization, and they had their own jargon and everything associated with it, meaning they know what the shit mean, and it might be something passed on through their bloodline, and they know what the story means. And people out here taking it like a literal story. Same thing with the biblical thing. How they gonna tell people don't take the Bible literal, but they taking the monad and Sophia literal? That's another story too that you weren't there to witness. The thing is, a lot of people got beef with Christianity because they got mad that Jesus wasn't white, and they were like, man, they lied to us. So you know what I'm saying? They didn't know that the pictures that they was drawing didn't have anything to do with the biblical scriptures. So niggas started going against the Bible, then they just started going against everything Christianity. However, that's what the world built off of. So, you know what I'm saying? Even down to the wording of how they say certain things, that come from Christianity. So they didn't want to sound Christian. They didn't want to sound like pastors, but they wanted to do something different. So they ain't going to say the God, they're going to say the divine now. They're going to say the Most High, even though the Most High is literally in the Bible. Tell them to go read the book and then come back. It's literally in the Bible. All right, you go read the book of Psalm chapter 82, okay, verse 6. And it'll say what? All of you are children, or all of you are guys, but all of you are children of the Most High. You see what I'm explaining to you? And I noticed I went to a school when I was 2 years old, a daycare for...
Music is one of the best ways to express your feelings. That's why today we're going to do some...
Children of the Most High. You see what I'm explaining to you? We know that word. It's only certain people who use that word. But again, these are two words pieced together to say something. It's talking about a status. You see, so people didn't want to use those words or use the words, and sometimes they still do. They'll say, I'm God. Okay, that's in the Bible. I'm spiritual. Spiritual is in the Bible. You understand? I do tarots. That's in the Bible. You see what I'm saying? I'm a medium. That's in the Bible. I channel. That's in the Bible. Astral projection. That's in the Bible. Everything that y'all running away from, you're just naming it different things. They don't say heaven anymore. They say 4D, 5D. I'm going to the fifth dimension. You mean you want to go to heaven? Why don't nobody want to talk about going to the second dimension or the first dimension? You don't want to know that because you think that means hell. You see what I'm saying? And you want to run away from the Bible, so you don't want to talk about hell. You see, I mean, we could go on and on and on. The truth is, what people are trying to run away from, if they would have studied it, they would have comprehended by now the science involved in it. Because then they're going to have to do that anyway. What's the word you say? I'm chosen. That's from the Bible. The rapture, all that, those type of concepts come from the Bible. Of people being taken up in 144,000, all that's from the Bible. You see? Go ahead, what you got?
Can you describe the second coming of Christ consciousness, or in Christianity terms, the second coming of Jesus?
Well, according to what they say in their Bible, it wouldn't just be Jesus returning. Okay, that second coming would entail God coming back himself. The Son of Man will be with him.
Now, I want y'all to pay attention to something, especially those of y'all who might be a little new. You see how he asking me these questions, right? And you see how I'm answering the questions. You don't see me like, what's the point of you asking me that? Man, I don't know about all that, man. I'm gonna talk about something else that I'm comfortable with. So let me change the subject and deflect, right? 3, 2, 1, and then go here. You see how he asked me a question and I answer the question. You see how he asked me the question, I don't stop, go to my computer, Google it, look it up. He asking me questions, and because of the expertise and because of the scholarship that I already have, and because of the know-how to relay a message that I already possess, I'm giving him the answer, which means you're getting the answer when, as soon as he get the question out, I get the answer out. That's Nuapu. That's what I'm used to. All this other stuff that people be doing out here, I don't know what that is. Or I know what it is. I know that it's a lot of makeup for what you don't have shit going on. But that's you missing out on opportunities to grow. Because sometimes somebody gonna ask you a question you don't know the answer to. You have to be able to say, I don't know. But when you become more and more of a master, there are going to be more things that you know or know about. You know what I'm saying? Or at least have the knowledge of. I just wanted to point that out real quick, not to toot my own horn, but just to exemplify that is what it's supposed to look and sound like. They ask you a question. You might have to clarify their question for them in your answer, how I just did. I said, firstly, when they say that, it's not just this person come back, it's also God returning. And then I'm going to give him things he can look into, and I'm going to explain it further. And take my time with the explanation and not give some gray area answer. You see? So that's why they stay away from this type of shit. Because, like, these people, they ask these type of questions, they going to say all kind of stuff, make up all kind of stuff, and regurgitate the same stuff everybody else saying. Y'all been listening to this? I'm not saying what everybody else saying. That's how you know. That's how you know who's who. The news bearers ain't going to just say what everybody else saying. The ones who got that word in them, that new woo in them, what the fuck we going to say what everybody else saying if the whole point is to clear up the confusion in the realm that's overrun by it? If the realm is overrun by confusion and the rhetoric points are wrapped up in that whirlpool of being overrun, okay, then guess what? We have to clear up the confusion. We're not going to speak what those who are part of the confusion speak. Make sense? That makes us an agent by default. Then they're going to say we were sent by this, sent by that, and don't listen to them. Because we combating their bullshit. But they'll never want to face us one-on-one. They never want to say, all right, let's do a live, or let's have a, forum, or let's go on the Zoom call. They don't want to do that. Because then you can't hide behind, I'm too good, or I'm too high, or, you know what I mean? Or he's sent by the CIA. Can't hide behind it. That's New Apple. Just wanted to highlight that.
Angels will be with him, and a new kingdom will be set up on the planet Earth. There's a possibility that they're speaking about an extraterrestrial invasion. If you read the book of Revelation, if you replace the angels with extraterrestrials, if you replace the clouds with UFOs, and you start seeing what these stories are actually hinting toward, it seems like they're speaking about an extraterrestrial invasion, where someone comes from outside of the planet Earth, what they call heaven, which is outer space, into the planet Earth, okay, and they take this shit over and say, we're going to make all things new. That second coming wouldn't just be Jesus coming back. As a matter of fact, Jesus came a certain way the first time. He was birthed through a what? A mother. Right. He didn't just pop up on the planet. You see? So if you're speaking in terms of how Jesus came the first time, all right, then that would be somebody would need to be birthed again through a mother. And then Jesus himself, Son of Man, they said he was coming back with clouds.
Whoa.
What's that?
I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
Guys, Nina just built an app.
Right. So if you're looking for one Jesus or one person to return, you already missed out on what the story was saying. Mm-hmm. There's a bunch of them. And they also were talking about taking 144,000 to redeem them from the earth. And there were talks of those beings or people being able to come back and teach. And there's not one Messiah that's supposed to come back. So we're speaking in terms of literally, I don't know these things. I'm just saying, according to their book, there's going to be some type of vehicle that comes to the earth with people on it that are going to change this reality after they destroy it. They'll replenish it in the way that they want to replenish it. That's an extraterrestrial existential threat for human beings. Human beings won't be able to survive that unless they're chosen to survive it. You see? Now, as far as the second coming of Christ consciousness, all of the metaphysical doctrine, that's Charles Fillmore and them when they did the metaphysical Bible. Again, metaphysical what? Bible. They haven't gone anywhere. People have not gone beyond that book. They're trying to describe things internally, and then they say this is all that it is. No, the law of correspondence was saying that there's an inside, there's an outside, there's an above, there's a below. You can't just have one. So if you say Christ consciousness is only this, then you don't know how to read the realm. Because it wouldn't just be inside. There has to be a literal occurrence too. You with me? Can't your brain be hungry?
Yeah.
Can't you be hungry for information and you want to feed yourself information? Okay, so let's use that as an example. Your brain can be hungry. You get some information, and now you satisfy your hunger for that moment. Okay, and then you can be quote unquote physically hungry, where you got to go out and get some food and feed yourself so that you could fulfill that hunger. You see what I'm explaining to you? It got to be in and out. It can't just be the one thing, because if you say I'm hungry and then you just sit there, you didn't eat. You see what I'm saying? That's not how you get your nutrients. You have to go outside of self to get nutrients. You have to go outside. Look at this water. This water is outside of myself. I have water inside myself too. Right. Yeah, the same stuff that the reality around me, this chair, this sofa, this wood over here, the wall, these light bulbs, all the same type of, like literally the elementary particles that make up this reality ultimately, that's inside of me. But it's also outside. So if people are saying Christ consciousness is only happening in your brain, that's a violation of the law of correspondence. And it needs to be the same. People say as within, so without, as above, so below. Then why are you only talking about within? It's a lazy excuse not to know what's happening. You see? And that's why we get lost in the sauce where they start speaking about Arcturians, the Pleiades, all this stuff I was saying, the Romardians, all this, the Draconians and the Venusians and all these other beings. These are extraterrestrials. Y'all believe in extraterrestrials, which means you believe in people or beings or humanoids that exist outside of the earth plane. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You see that? So then again, if people wanted to take it further, then they'll have to do more work, because then who are those beings? Explain who they are. Have you ever encountered them yourself? Not just read about it or saw somebody claiming that they can channel the Pleiades. See? So second coming of Christ consciousness is Charles Fillmore and them. That's their type rhetoric. That's their doctrine of a metaphysical Bible. Ain't no such thing as metaphysics. You listen, next time somebody want to claim metaphysics, just go and Google it. Like if they come on here, I'm not trying to get you to shift your platform. Because if you start talking like me, nobody ain't gonna want to come on here. So you ain't even got to do it. Here's what I would do. All right? I'll say, okay, I'm gonna ask you a physics question. What's the formula for speed? I don't know that, brother. I would have to go within. Okay, do it right now. Go within right now. What's the formula for speed always? And then they're not going to know it. And I'm saying, okay, how are you metaphysics, which means beyond physics, if you don't know physics? If I ask you what's velocity and you don't understand it, if I ask you the difference between the joule over here, Joule, and the joule, Jewel, you can't explain it. What are we talking about here? You're not a physicist, so how do you become a metaphysicist if meta means you went beyond that degree? Like if I ask you how to multiply, you know how to multiply, right? And then you also know how to add. Which one did we learn how to do first?
To add.
We learned how to add first. You see what I'm saying? And then somebody came and gave us multiplication, which was a higher degree. So you got to learn physics first. And then you can talk about this higher degree of metaphysics. They're making it up. It's all cap.
A lot of people talk about the world is scripted and nothing's really real. What's your take on that? And people love to throw out the matrix terms and people protecting the system that we living in, and the world is a script that we live in a false reality.
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
Well, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, they need to know what they mean when they're saying real. What do they mean by real? Can you ask those people when they talk, be like, are you real? And if you're real and you think you're real and you're interacting with a fake reality, you understand? Explain how that works. How does it gel? How does that connect? Reality is something that you're experiencing. These same people that say everything is fake, this isn't real. They point at the screen, they got all the words at the top. We know how this goes. We see the formula. This ain't real. Fake reality, illusion, da da da. They get off and they go to the club. They get off, they go play the game. They go play the fake game. They get off and they go drink the fake water, go drink and eat the fake food. You understand? You're still interacting in a fake reality. Why don't you just leave? If you've ascended to the point of understanding that this reality isn't real, then leave. You should have the keys to get out here by now.
Oh.
Then this will be you playing escape room. So then where's the exit then? If it's not real, then Truman Show, when he realized that he wasn't real, he left. He got the fuck on and walked out. These people don't want to leave it because they don't really think it's not real. You understand? When they chase and tell and they out here having sex and do their thing, they feel like it's real. And it's real enough and gives them pleasure enough that they want to keep doing it. When they get glory for people putting them up on pedestals and they think they're gods and they claiming this, it's so not real, but you want people to follow a not real account in a not real world. And you want people to support your not real Cash App or your not real book or your not real this and not real. Everything is not real, but you're still here living the not real reality. You got a not real crystal chain that you just put up on your website for $222 because it's angel numbers. Ain't no angel numbers. You know it ain't no angel numbers. You know that you just playing on the community, the demographic that believes in angel numbers. So they're more apt to spend $111 on crystals or $222 because it's a magic number. You see what I'm explaining to you? Mm-hmm. So no, they don't even believe that themselves. It's just a talking point. You know what I mean? You ain't never talked to you ever caught the bus before?
Yeah.
Where you from? I'm from Atlanta. Where you from?
I'm from Houston.
Okay, cool. Y'all got all the transit situation set up, right? Okay, cool. So then you ain't never heard nobody talking at the bus stop when they see you and they don't want it to be awkward? So they just start talking about random stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Do they still sit with you when you get on the bus?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they keep talking about the random stuff?
Sure, yeah.
Well, no, so my experience was, no, niggas don't do that. After they get done and the bus pull up, you sit on one end of the bus, and that same nigga that was talking all this shit will sit on a whole different end of the bus. My point is, a lot of people are past in time. You see what I'm saying? They speak in these rhetoric points, and they don't believe these things themselves. But it sound good until somebody come up and ask questions. You want more solutions? Ask more questions.
Right.
You get me?
No, yeah. Yeah, I got you on that one.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't think angel numbers is, higher beings or, angels trying to communicate with you?
The truth is, you can put a meaning to any number. Okay? So it's 420 right now. I could put a meaning to that. I could say something going on with Bob Marley and them family. I could do a lot of things. When the angels give you a message, it'll be unmistaken. Okay? It won't be mistakable. If God gives you a message, you ain't gonna say something that's wrong. You see what I'm explaining to you? If you got somebody that's overlooking your battlefield and they can see more than you can see, and they say they're going to herd of elephants down the street 5 blocks and 2 turns to the left, you'll be able to see that, but you won't have the vision, okay, but you will know what's coming up. You see what I'm saying to you? So by the time you get there, you got the advantage of knowing that it's there because they're on your team and they letting you know what's moving. My point is, you can put a meaning to anything. I'm not saying that angel numbers are not angels communicating with you. I'm saying, how do you know? When have you literally been able to say, these angels communicate with me? Because angel is not a God word, meaning not a good word. Even God is not a good word. Angel is a word that means messenger, angelos, messenger, malaik or malek. Okay, when you say Molech was that owl god with people group with Baal in them that did child sacrifice. And then you got Malachi, which is a whole different type of ruler. Or Malachi, my angel, my messenger, my ruler, my Lord. You see what I'm explaining to you? So when people say angel, they think that means good. Angel don't mean good. So you get an angel number. What if it's a negative being or evil being sending you that, and they leading you to destruction? How are you going to check? You see what I'm explaining to you? So it becomes less about whether or not angels are communicating with you. It becomes more about, can you be communicated with? Are you even in that state of mind? You see what I'm explaining to you? Can you read the reality around you without trying to put it off on ghost figures? If you're running and you're speeding down a hallway and you see a wall at the end of the hallway, are you going to keep running or are you going to stop?
You're going to stop.
You're going to stop. You want to know why? Because you understand that the so-called fake reality has real consequences. And if you run head first into a wall, don't matter how conscious you are, if you fuck up your brain, you won't be that same type of being. Right. You see what I'm saying? If you sustain a head injury, you done heard about this, that person will change for life. You with me? So that's real. Those are real consequences. So my point is, if I can read the realm and I know, okay, according to how speed and gravity and the solid matter that I'm about to run into, how that's set up, oh no, I need to slow down. I'll stop running full speed when I see that wall. That's me reading the realm. Was that an angel giving me that message or was that me figuring that out?
That was you.
That was me figuring that out. When angels give you a message, you're going to know. It'll be undeniable.
Right.
You see what I'm explaining to you? When the angels in them books showed themselves, they showed themselves. They popped up on niggas in real time.
I'm down on my luck, she's turning a page. I'm falling in love, she's running away.
Say, yo, what's up? You know what I mean? Like, nigga, you run into a nigga in the store. And say, yo, what's good? I'm an angel. You an angel? Yeah, nigga, I'm about to show you. Come on, let's go around the store. Look, boom, I'm glowing. See that? Only we can do that. Now, let me give you this message to go tell my people. That's how they pulled up. Nigga, with Moses with the burning bush, even though the bush didn't burn, the light was coming out of the bush. Okay, that's how that happened. Nigga, Moses, when I talk about, say, I see 444. The Lord is speaking to me. That's not how this goes. It's a good idea.
That's just a programming. What? Like you said, we ain't never seen an angel pop up and be like, yeah, nigga, that's me communicating with you. Like, we just putting indoctrination.
So the point is, it could be angels communicating with you, but you're not going to stop at, I believe. Then how you communicate back? If I get your phone number, you get my phone number, how we got the phone to set up this live? You see how we was able to communicate back and forth?
Yeah.
I ain't just send you no numbers. You was able to communicate with me too. So everybody want to take angels to communicate with me. I'll say, okay, call them right now. And who? Which angels? Name them. You said angel numbers. Angels are in the Bible. We know what angels are. And guess what they have? Names. So who's communicating with you? I don't know. So then okay, how about this? You have a degree that could allow you to access that communication plane with angels. You don't possess the whole degree, okay, or all of the degrees necessary to really communicate. So maybe you just experiencing one stage, but you can't say these are angel numbers as if you're not looking at a phone, where if I stare at the phone, I'm going to see damn near 11 angel numbers, 12 angel numbers a day. I'll see 12. If I just keep staring at the phone, I'm going to see that. 11. I'm going to see that. It don't mean that it's magic happening. 10. That happens all the time, especially with the old magazines. They put it on there all the time. Okay, I'm also seeing 909. I'm like, nigga, it's getting real. All I got to do is just stare at the clock. And every hour, there are going to be angel numbers. It's going to be 333, trust and believe me. It's going to be 444. It'll be 555. That's not how you communicate with extraterrestrials. Now, if that's how extraterrestrials are communicating with you, then you need to do what's necessary to take the steps further to figure out who's communicating with you. You see what I'm saying? Somebody call your phone and you don't know who that is. You're going to what? Star 69? You're going to do something. You're going to figure it out. Especially if they got some information that's supposed to be useful or valuable to you. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Let's do it.
I got you. Okay. So what role do you think technology and artificial intelligence play in the spiritual evolution or destruction of mankind?
I don't think it has anything to do with spiritual evolution. I'm still right here. I'm about to get something real quick. I don't think it has anything to do with spiritual evolution. I think it has everything to do with exactly what they're talking about. Technological revolution, okay, or technological or industrial evolution, if you want to use that word. But spiritual, that doesn't enhance when AI enhances. People need to know what spiritual means. Like, let me ask you this question. What is spiritual?
Should the spirit that dwells inside of you, the controller of the body.
So the brain.
Right.
So spiritual is the brain. You see how I get?
Mm-hmm.
You just said the controller that's inside of you, that's the brain. That's the nervous system. The central nervous system, the peripheral nervous system. What is spirit? Then they're going to try to get smart. They're going to say spiritus, spirare, it's breath. Oh, okay, well then, they know, what do you mean spiritual? You mean people who breathe? That's everybody. You see what I'm explaining to you? So, are you saying is technology going to help us breathe? That's possible. They may have technology. I'm not trying to be funny. What I'm saying is they have to advance in their wording. Don't have anything to do with their spiritual world technology. As a matter of fact, the spiritual community is getting left behind because they don't understand what's happening or comprehend what's happening with the technological revolutions that are going on now, or the industrial revolutions happening now. They're moving away from that. The ones who are going to lead the new world will be scientists, not spiritual people. It's been like that. It's literally been like that. You go to ancient Egypt, the chemists, all alchemy, all sciences. You see that?
Right.
So no, they won't have an effect on one another.
Right.
Simple
answer. Do you think because they say, China owns majority of America. Do you think that we will become, basically slaves to China?
I don't know. I don't know if China owns America or not. I've heard about America being in debt to China and things like that. I don't know. I've only heard about it.
They'll be the new superpower. That we,
it's possible. It's possible, especially if they keep advancing technologically. It's possible. My answer to you is I don't know that. That information hasn't been revealed to me.
Right. Okay. So, you believe America Babylon? You think we're the real third world country?
I don't know. I don't know whether or not there's one Babylon. There could be multiple Babylons because the actual Babylon wouldn't be anywhere over here. You see what I'm explaining to you? You got to go ancient Mesopotamia, Iran, and Iraq, and all those different places in the Middle East. That's where Babel or Babylon would have been at. You see what I'm explaining to you? With Saddam Hussein and the rest of those people, they're in those areas. We over here in the West. So if America is Babylon, then something happened with the whole history of something unchanged or shifted. So Babylon ain't even over here. But if we're using it allegorically as in a lost people who just running their mouth and don't know what's going on and they're confused and they're babbling, then yeah, that's the whole entire planet Earth. Not America. The whole of the planet Earth is lost.
Right.
But see, they said they were going to, when we read the book of Genesis chapter 11, they said God came down and separated everybody and confused their tongues so they wouldn't know what they were saying and scattered them all over the earth. So if that's the truth, if that happened at any given time, then we them descendants all over the world, we descendants of people who are confused and only got one piece of a puzzle. You see?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you're aware of the New World Order.
Yeah.
I mean, we're basically in it right now. You think it coming in the form of digital, digital programming and like phones and different ideologies and misinformation and but a lot of this stuff is leading us down, a rabbit hole. Like I remember I seen a video you talking about how it means bunk. And I'm personally one of the people that resonated with what you were saying.
Yeah.
And when you broke it down and with the numbers and the gematria and all that stuff, and you said he was basically leading us down straight to the underworld, something like that. With the you said Brax Sophia, something like that.
Those are underworld beings.
Both.
Both of them. Even the word Abraxas is saying to cause to fall. The reason for the fall. Kasus, Abraxasus, Abraxasus. You cause this falling. You cause this illusion that's taking place. Sophia knows that in the story. That she is responsible for the illusion. The Matrix movie is the illusionary world that somebody want to break out of. So you're going to worship the God that's the God over it. You're worshiping Lucifer. You're worshiping Satan. That's the God of this world. Satan is Sophia.
You
see
so how do we get access to the real? How do we get access to the real creator?
I don't know how you get access to the real creator. What I would say is just because you're in the world that's governed by people who want to support an illusion, things are supposed to matter to these people. Things are supposed to matter to these people, but these things don't really matter in the long run. And the main families and big families are focused on survival. Resources, not money, resources, making sure that their generations live. That's the real world. Survival. Everything else is a blanket that's supposed to comfort you as your bloodlines go extinct and they stay on the top. You see me explaining to you? So I don't know how you would get access to the real creator. I don't know that there is a quote-unquote real creator. I'm not saying that I believe in the story of Sophia either. What I'm saying is, according to that story, that's who Sophia is. So why would I pick a story and worship and be up under some people that have built an illusionary world?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Right. And then you ask them questions and watch what they're going to say. How do you know Sophia exists? They're going to say, it's because of a feeling. That's not how this works. If you could go based off of feeling and access information, and I need you to tell me what I just ate. I ate something 2 hours ago, tell me what I ate. And they're going to be like, see, this is what you're not understanding. You're not getting this. And I'm going to wait till they're done, and I'm going to ask them the same question again so that everybody in the audience can see they're not answering the question. If you have the ability to access this information from the monad or the creator of all things and the omniscient being that's supposed to know everything, then you should be able to tap into that same source when I say, what did I eat? Right. No, it builds your rhetoric, and interestingly enough, your rhetoric existed before you got here. So you subscribe to somebody else's writing. You come up under somebody else's writings. Subscribe. Scribe writings. And that nigga is Plato's. The nigga is Greek. That's Greek philosophy. Sophia. The demiurge. That don't have anything to do with us. You see what I'm explaining to you?
Yeah. I'm following.
So you got...
No, we just talked about, basically us, demonic creatures. So do you believe this is basically the underworld? This is hell. This is the lower dimension.
I don't know. I'm telling you, I don't know. I've been to lower dimensions by astral projection. I've been beneath the astral projection all the time. I've been beneath the Earth's surface. I've been outside of the Earth, and still that's in my astral projection form. All of that could be a figment of my imagination, but I have experienced myself get out of my body. You see what I'm saying? It still could be possible. I just don't understand to what extent the brain works. Because the brain could make you feel like you're doing that. I just may not know that. You see? So astral projection could have been a state of mind or a state of the brain this entire time. But with that state of the brain, I've been able to access other realms from my experience. And it's lower realms than this. Is this hell as in what they've been speaking about? I don't know, because according to the stories, hell is beneath the earth plane. Sheol is under your feet. You see what I'm saying? It's the center of the earth. It's the cave or the pit. It's Duat. The ancient Egyptians talk about the underworld. Everybody talk about the underworld. The Hindus talk about the underworld, the locusts, the lower locusts. You see? So whether or not earth itself is hell, I don't know. However, I'm here, I'm experiencing it, and I know that some people may be experiencing hell right now. Some people may be experiencing heaven right now or bliss right now. And other people like myself may be neutral. And we're not claiming either one of these states or existences or realms right now. We're on a mission. We're passing through. You see, but for some people, again, they may be living hell.
Right. So how do you, what do you do to astral project? Is there something you do? Is there something you do to keep your body clean? Like, what do you have to do to actually astral project?
So I rarely go into the details of astral projection in one sitting. All right, I've got classes out on YouTube where people can go astral projection 101, things like that, because there's so much that goes into it. And then I'll be responsible for introducing people to it. And people get caught out there. People get stuck. Sometimes people don't wake up. These were the warnings I was given before I started to astral project at a very young age, around age 12, to be specific, where I was able to control my projections. You see, we were taught about you can get caught out there, you encounter certain beings, and I've encountered certain negative beings and things like that. So no, my body, my temple, my being wasn't always clean when I astral projected. You understand? Sometimes I was doing things I wasn't supposed to do and still was able to astral project. You with me? Another thing they say is you got to pray, you got to meditate. No, you can astral project on accident. You know what I'm saying? People have out-of-body experiences and they didn't do it themselves. So that's an astral projection, but not necessarily, because it's an out-of-body experience. They just didn't project themselves out at their own will. But yeah, it wasn't something that I needed to be clean to do. Now, I suggest people to be clean, but again, that's a whole other thing. I have to go into we can come on here if you want to. If you want to do that, we can come back and I'll do a whole thing on astral projection. So don't think I'm trying to say, oh, that's too deep. No, it's not too deep. It's just a responsible thing. It's a degree that if people access it, when people access it, the teacher needs to be responsible for how they introducing it. Because you be done sent people out of something they're not ready for. They don't understand that part. You see, but to keep it simple, my first astral projection, I didn't do myself. It activated on its own. And then I learned how to control it. Okay, so by the time I was 13, I could control it. You see, so different things I would do. I would envision a warping sensation taking place around the base of my skull. Okay, and I would literally, the way I'm doing the motion, I would envision that the warping sensation was moving around my skull, at the base of it though. That way, it literally, I could feel the vibration around my lip, around my jaw, around the back of my head, back to my other jaw, to my lip. I don't know why it was that, but that was the easiest way. And I would lay out like this on my floor and cross my legs like I was on a cross. And I would take deep breaths. And by the time I was on my 9th breath, I'm ready to get up out of my body. It was normal because you can literally feel the pulse. It becomes something that you're thinking about till it starts to have a feeling. And you start feeling like your body is moving in response to what you're doing visually. That was the easiest way. I just gave people that. Still, I would have to be responsible to go into more detail. But that's one of the easiest ways. Posture, position.
I got to learn to stop acknowledging the little people. How far have we come? Stop acknowledging the little people, y'all. Stop.
Laying out like you on a cross. That's the easiest way for me. Deep breaths and visualization. Being able to come in contact with and have a realization of the fact that there is another body potentially inside of you that you can control. The more you do that, it becomes second nature. You see, after a while, you actually reject so much. Sometimes I just don't do it because like I just don't want to do it this shadow. I don't want to do it tonight. Or I might not. I go a certain time period, I don't do it, but then I have to get back to it because I need to go find some information or affirmation that I'm asking people for in real time, and I'm not getting it. So sometimes I'll go into certain planes, talk to certain people, and they'll be able to not only just answer certain questions, the experience itself, I come back with wisdom. You see? So that's reality. I have experienced that. So if anybody talking about astral projection, you ain't gonna hear me debunk or none of that. I'll be like, I know what that is. I do that. But the point is, it's a lot more to explain about other than just sitting right here and I give you a quick answer. But that was one way that I've done it. There are multiple ways to trigger the astral projection. You can come out of sleep paralysis and go into astral projection. You can come out of a dream into astral projection. You see what I'm saying? You can have a traumatic experience and it unlocks something inside of you. Physically traumatic, meaning your body receives some type of trauma, or you have a mental or mentally traumatic experience where you have an emotionally traumatic response, and that could unlock certain things that cause you to have different sleeping patterns and open up certain doors that allow you to exit your body.
Yep.
So there's no one size fits all.
Okay, and when you do that, like you can literally see your body, and you can like you see your body motionless, and you like damn, that's crazy. And
yeah. So here's what you need to know though. It's not always like that. Sometimes this is what I've experienced. I don't know the way to explain it scientifically, but sometimes I get up out of my body, and by the time I'm standing up, I done passed through a bunch of dimensions. So that body that I was laying in is no longer there. Okay? Or does that make sense? Or I'll get up and my body is there, but I'll move across the room, and when I move across the room, the dimensions is shifting, and I'm no longer looking at that body. You see, or when you go through doors, sometimes I'm using the word dimension just to say what I mean by that is what you're looking at.
Right.
Okay, or what you're observing. That'll shift. So the observation, we'll use that word, will shift. If I go through certain doors, it'll shift. If I travel through a wall, it'll shift. If I go outside and into the galaxies, it'll shift. You see, so it's not always you get up and you're walking up. That's really for a higher level. The people who are able to hold their consciousness together to be able to get out of their body and still be in that same exact observation point.
Okay.
You see that?
Yeah, I got you. So the waters, bro. Like it's we only discovered 5% of the ocean. Is that the real space? The waters.
I don't know. I think you kind of understand. Yeah, I haven't been out there. I don't know.
Yeah.
They say they only. All the people talking about that. Ask them. Okay, if you're saying that there's more beyond there, and ask these people questions. Be like, okay, then how do you know what's beyond the 5% that these people don't spend 50 years studying? How do you know? And they're gonna make stuff up. Because for me to speak on beyond the 5%, I need to know what the 5% is. And I'm telling you right now, I don't know what the 5% is. You know what I'm saying? I know what the ocean is. Some niggas get out here, they won't even be able to tell you which oceans is which. You see what I'm explaining to you? So I know what the oceans are, I know that. I can understand that, but as far as what's in it and all the different types of life forms and the different parts of it and how deep some of them go, the zones, all this stuff. Listen, I couldn't tell you the first, second, or last thing about the abyss, other than the fact that they say that shit is deep.
Yeah.
That's what niggas be meaning. When they say it's too deep, they talking about the ocean. Yeah, that's too deep. I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah.
Simple as.
Yeah, I mean, shit. I mean, it sounds like, bro, we just gotta worry about human things and experience what the fuck humans supposed to experience. You just,
See how many times he asked me a question, right? And if I didn't know the answer, you saw what I said? I said, I don't know. I still gave him some type of answer where he can at least go and look into it for himself, see how he could find out if he were interested in that. If I don't know, I just don't know. But imagine how many people get in that seat or type of seat where people looking up to them and they can answer questions and they on a podcast, somebody asks them something, they just start making stuff up, throwing things together, word salad, based off of something they didn't heard somebody else say da. And people will sit there and believe that because the brain wants to be fooled. No, if you want to empower people, be able to tell them you don't know. So, you know what I mean? So they're not looking at you like you're the source of all information. They get lazy and don't want to get out and figure things out for themselves.
Have a human experience and not, worry about the totality of everything.
Be truthful. Be truthful. Don't act like you know things you don't know. And if you want to know it, go on the journey. You might be interested in the ocean. It's going to take you a little more time than a TikTok video to know what they are or what it is. So then you need to go and study. You need to be an oceanic scholar. You don't need to just be sitting around talking about it. Go study it. Don't tell me about Antarctica. Go to Antarctica. We can't. Yes, you can. They lie. You can go
past you can go past the ice wall?
There's no ice wall. There are glaciers and ice walls in Antarctica. You want to know why? Because Antarctica is composed of a lot of ice. There's ice there. Niggas be like, oh, it's an ice wall in Antarctica. It's Antarctica. Is that confusing what I'm saying? There is no deep ice wall. According to these maps and all of the stuff that is, even people that went out there with selfies and showing it, ain't no one ice wall. There are glaciers. Right. There are multiple plateaus of ice, if you want to say that. But it's no one ice wall, according to what's being presented. But they're going based off of drawings that don't even align with how science would work. Like they'll say that that's the entire South Pole, right? The ice wall. It encompasses a whole flat plane. Okay, and then they'll say in the middle is the North Pole. That's not how magnets work. When the last time you played with a magnet and the North Pole was in the middle and the South Pole was on the outside of it? No, the North Pole was on one side and the South Pole was on the other side. That's why we call it a pole.
Right.
Look at this pen right here. This is a pole. So then it's polarized. There's one pole, this will be south, and there's one pole, this will be north. You see? Now, what I'm like telling people, this is the North Pole, and these are the South Pole. That's not how this works. So you got to start using different words, even if you're going to play that game. And then they're going to say there's a dome connected to the outskirts of it, right? The flat plane. Remember that? So there's a dome connected to the outskirts of the flat plane, but there's an ice wall around the flat plane. That means that dome is sitting on top of the ice wall. And if human beings can't get beyond it, then what do you mean beyond the ice wall? Beyond the ice wall would be space. You see?
Yeah.
And even if they say it's water, guess what? You ain't gonna be able to get there because you can't go beyond the ice wall.
Right.
Because you can't go beyond the dome. It's made up. They made it up. A lot of these people are trying to recite the Bible or regurgitate. The Bible is what they get that firmament stuff from. The Bible is where they get the separation of the two waters from. Okay? The waters that they're talking about is outer space. That's the water they're talking about. When they looked up, they saw blue in the sky. And they said, that looks like our ocean. You know what I'm saying? They don't realize that that's the sunlight interacting with particles that gives off that reflection to the human eye. It don't even look the same to all the living organisms on the planet. It just looks like that to you as humans. There are different organisms that can see different lights that you can't see. And then you can see lights that they can't see. The bees can see ultraviolet, but they can't see red. You can see red, but you can't see ultraviolet. So a lot of these scientists at that time, which weren't really science, but they were doing their best, they were basing it off of just observation. Yeah, they thought the world was flat because it looked flat. You see what I'm explaining to you? But nobody can say that the earth is flat because earth is eretz, and eretz means the land. Go look it up. It's a Hebrew word for land, not a planet. Article, eretz. So if you walk outside, you're going to see hills. Automatically, the plane or the planet, the eretz, is not flat. You see? Now, if you stand out in a plane, you might see a plane, and that may be flat. That's a flat plane. Okay, I'm going to shake your hand. You did good. But if we out there in a mountainous area, you going to tell me this is flat? All these hills and valleys? No, it's not flat. So the plane is, the planet, the eretz, the earth itself is not flat. You with me? And then you got to talk about the oceans. Look how deep the oceans go. You see? That proves to you that the earth isn't flat. Because the earth was flat. That's speaking of a consistent outline. If there are grooves in the earth that go that damn deep, that ain't flat. You see what I'm explaining to you?
Yeah, I got you. I understand.
I mean, listen, they can't answer these questions. That's why they mad at me. When you see all the people try to say all this stuff, it's because I hit them with these questions and it gets to their ego. They don't understand. Let the ego die. Whatever ego stopping you from receiving wisdom, let that die. It ain't no bad thing. I had to go through it too when I was younger. You get older, you get more wisdom, you start realizing, oh, wow.
Right.
I didn't know what I was talking about. You understand? I knew about what I was talking. But I didn't know what I was talking about. That makes sense? So no ice wall. That's not geography. That's theology. You see, no firmament, there are atmospheres, biospheres that reach beyond just even the moon. The moon is within the Earth's atmosphere. They'll say that in science. You see? So when people get to learning about that, they really want to know what they're talking about when they say, we can't go beyond the firmament. Ask them, when did you try? You shut all the illusion down. I'm telling you, you're gonna level up. Wait a minute, when did you try to go beyond the firmament?
So I never know what you got here.
Huh?
You don't, I mean, since you never done it, you can't really speak on it. We can leave the
Can't speak on that. Oh, NASA be lying. So you tell the truth. If NASA lying about the image of the Earth, you present the real image. I can't. I don't have the technology. Then be quiet.
Yeah.
Or go get the technology. Y'all become the guys y'all saying y'all are. If your mission is to get the truth to the people, then build a space station. Become familiar with astronomy. Stop playing with astrology. Instead of playing with angel numbers, how about you go and study and discover planets and do what these people are doing? If you're saying that you can't go beyond the firmament, instead of looking up YouTube videos that you think a rocket hit the firmament, how about you go and test it? You go see. You get in a hot air balloon with a drone. Once your hot air balloon go as far as it's supposed to go, send a drone up. Get as far as you can. You go beyond the stratosphere. Other than that, you're just running your mouth. And if that's okay with you, that's what you want to do, and you believe it, I'll leave people alone. I'm not against people's beliefs. If you want to believe something, you have the right to do that. I don't intend to belittle people or try to hinder people's belief systems or right to believe. But when you start talking about what you know and you want me to know it because you know it, you believe that. You want me to believe because you believe it. They ain't been out there. All people say the earth is flat. Watch them say this too. They'll say it's an infinite plane. You ever heard that?
I've heard that.
Okay. Ask them, when did they measure it? That's going to mess their brain up. They might hate you, so don't ask me. I can deal with it. Other people probably can't deal with that type of hate. When you speak the truth, people hate you. When you ask questions that's rooted in truth, people hate you. You become an agent. So far since I've been on here, has this been agent behavior or has this been behavior of scientists?
Shit. You sound like you just need truth to back it up, man.
Scientists.
Yeah.
That's how we got our phone. They needed truth to back it up. Some nigga said, bro, I think I can talk to that nigga and he ain't nowhere near it. And he went to go find the science to back it up. Some nigga said, yo, what if they could talk to each other and stream it and record it? And they went to go get the science to back it up. Some nigga said, yo, you know what? I'm tired of plugging my computer up to this cord. I keep tripping. Let's try Wi-Fi. They went to go get the science to back it up. Some niggas said these horses is getting on my nerves. They stink. They loud. Let's go make cars. And they went to go get the science. Now we got electrical cars because they went to go get the science to back it up. Now niggas don't even gotta drive. They press a button, a setting on their Tesla, and the shit drive for them. Why? Because they went to go get the science to back it up. People's lives are being saved. Daily, I'm sure you got people in your family that had to get medicine, treatment, surgery, something. You want to know why? Because the medical practitioners went to go get the science to back it up. No, we're losing. If we're in the spiritual community and we just believing, we're losing our godhood. We're becoming more subservient, less knowledgeable. We don't know how to make things work and tweak it, and they're winning the race.
Right.
You see these guys in these stories? You see how Tahuti, they say he had a staff. That when a nigga pulled, say, yo, Tahuti, pull up. These niggas fucking with me. Tahuti said, I got you. He pulled up with a staff. They said the shit shot light out of it. That nigga, that's a gun. A staff that shoot light out of it. That nigga, Tahuti was strapped. He understood technology. What did he pull up in? They said he pulled up in a boat that was so big that blocked the sun. What? First minute, boats is in the ocean. You mean he had a UFO? Do any of these niggas that be on here talking all this extra, do they have UFOs? No. But you want to know who got UFOs? The government. You want to know who got hoverboards? Elon and them. Those are the guys right now. The only ones doing godly shit is the scientists. Everybody else is running their mouth. We got scientists, they're the guys. The conscious community, these are the gypsies. They got to change their brain. They got to change their mind and fix that. Break that spell of psychosis. Go ahead, you got it. I don't want to talk too much now.
You good. You good. Good knowledge. So what would be your way or your practice on activating the third eye? Your pineal.
The pineal gland is active. The pineal gland is active. The pineal gland is responsible for melatonin. The pineal gland is responsible for the transduction of light in the being. The pineal gland is responsible for moderating and managing your circadian rhythm, your sleep cycle. The pineal gland already is active. What are they talking about? It's not a dormant gland. Okay, when people were speaking on the third eye, they were speaking on having a different viewpoint of the earth. Literally, third eye, another viewpoint. You see? Another viewpoint of the world, the systems, instead of just what people are accepting in the lower levels of vision. You have an elevated plane of sight. So you can see what the overstanders see. That's what third eye really meant. Because everybody wanted to jump out and be leaders and be spiritual teachers. They didn't go through the orders to know what we were really saying. You see? So when you say third eye, I have a pineal gland. It works. That's how I'm able to rest and do all this stuff. That's why I have melatonin is naturally released. You see what I'm explaining to you? My endocrine system is online. My pituitary gland is online. My frontal lobe, my limbic system, my basal ganglia, my medulla oblongata, my pons, my brain stem, my thalamus, my hippocampus, my the whole prefrontal cortex, cerebral, all that is online.
Come on.
What are they talking about activating? The third eye wasn't just speaking in terms of just one gland either. It was a change of your entire mind. You had to shift the neural activity and the neural pathways around so that you were no longer prone to invitation of temptation. You more critically thinking at that point. Just because somebody offered you the weed, that don't mean you're going to hit it. Just because somebody offered you the shrooms and say, this is good for you, you say, nigga, what does it do? Oh, I saw this. It seemed like to me that caused you to hallucinate. I don't need that. You see? That's what the third eye being active is about. That's a scientific statement. Saying, nigga, you ain't going to fool me.
Come on.
You see what I'm saying? I can see beyond what the average people see with their 2 eyes. That's what it's saying. And the only way that can happen is if your brain isn't overwhelmed by dopamine, overwhelmed by cortisol. Your chemicals are imbalanced. Not imbalanced, they're in balance. That's the third eye activation. That goes in alignment with what they call Sahasrara, or the crown chakra activation, the purple, not just the indigo. The blue is the throat. Right there, the indigo is the third eye they talk about, the first eye, which is really an entrance. The third eye ain't right here on your forehead. It's really in the back of your head, between your ears. Go look it up. That's how you challenge people, see what they know. So when they talk about the third eye, I say, where's the third eye? They're going to put it right here. That's not what the third eye is. That's where your frontal lobe is. That's a lobe. You see, I thought you were talking about a gland. That's back here, between the ears. You see?
Yeah.
So we'll get a little deeper. They got to know what they're talking about. That's it. Don't get mad at me. A billion people can be wrong.
Come on.
Yeah.
Simple.
Okay. So how important? Okay, let me start here. So, over time, you can kind of see the pattern of color kind of dying out from reality. Like grays, a lot of grays now, white, black, dull, low traditional colors. How important do you think color is to like the human body? You know what I'm saying? For like for the experience and emotion and stuff like that. Like, is that on purpose? That stuff. The modern day colors are very dull and dry and not very vibrant and stuff like that. What do you think about that whole deal?
I get you. So it'll depend on the person because not everybody's brain works the same way. What you're speaking about is a matter of psychology, right? Some people's brain may function in such a way that they don't want a lot of colors or overstimulation. They want things to be simple, clean cut. They want a routine. They want to get their data, and then they're able to function that way. When you overstimulate them, you give them too much noise. Some children come through, and if they hear fireworks, they'll run and they'll scream. Some children come through, they hear fireworks, and they run to it. So not everybody has the same type of response to stimulus. You with me? So on the basis level, from my observation, it seems as though it is important for human beings to have variety, for human beings to have access to multiple colors and experiences with multiple colors or vibrant colors, like you're saying. That's just my experience, because it seems as though when we went into the school systems and we were sitting there in that classroom and there weren't a lot of colors, the more we advanced in the grades, we got further and further away from colors. It seemed like people cared less and less about learning. So it could have been that the conditioning took place way earlier than we thought. The conditioning was our preschool, kindergarten, first, second, and third grades. All right. Once we got through that, then it became the middle school, the high school. That's where we were really being fouled into being citizens in this reality, from my observation. But the real programming take place when we were excited because of all the vibration around us, the colors, the numbers, the toys. We were excited about that. But they seep the things into our brains. And when you're excited about learning, your neuroplasticity is enhanced. So you're actually receiving more and you're more impressionable. You could literally talk a certain way because your first grade teacher talked a certain way.
Come on.
You could walk a certain way because your kindergarten teacher was talking about how certain people used to walk and you thought that was cool. So you still walk that way. The programming happened in the beginning when people were most active. So it depends. It could depend on the person, right? As far as how their brain work. And then it could be like, nigga, sometimes it ain't time to play. Sometimes you do need them facilities and environments where it's clean cut. Let's get straight to what we here to do. You understand? And then that simulation would be to breed whoever those soldiers or people would be that were candidates for that new world or that war that would take place to lead to it, or whatever mission was being carried out. You see what I'm explaining to you? So it all depends on the person. It depends on the situation. And because it's a matter of psychology, everybody's psyche or soul or mind is different. Most people fit in the same categories, but everybody got different things going on in their mind.
Right. That's true.
You see?
It's all about the way you program and how your brain works and shit like that.
Yep.
So for school, when you have a child or a kid, it's a certain age that you have to, enroll your kid in school. I think it's 4 or 5, something like that. Mm-hmm. Is that for a reason to get, because they understand how the brain works and how the brain develops and when it's time to when it's going in certain transition to where it's maybe picking up certain information or, developing a certain way. So you think that is on purpose for the age? Yeah. To kind of weigh your child off the frequency, or maybe for them to lose who they truly are. You know, to
I
get
don't
them
know
to sit down and shut
whether
up.
or not.
I was just,
It could be. I don't know whether or not it's to lose who they are. It's possible. I think it's based on a system. So if you got a system of people and you're responsible for governing those people, you're going to know those people are going to have sex, which means those people are going to reproduce. And you're going to know that those children are going to grow up to be people. So all of this is about survival. And if I have a system and the people on the bottom are fueling my system, I need to make sure the people stay in order, okay, or stay in check. So then, yeah, I would bring their children through my school system, my public school systems, to school them on how to function in public, how to be in society, not really how to be free thinkers or anything like that outside of what society is telling you. So, yeah, I think it is important for these governments to grab people's children young. You don't have to send your children to public school, but they got them public schools set up to fuel and fit the plan of their government and their reigns in existence. They just want to survive, and they don't need a bunch of Malcolm X's being raised in one community. They don't need a bunch of phase ones being raised in one community. Send them niggas to public school. Teach them that they're black. Teach them that they came from slaves. They low for the low. The most they can do is just remember that they might have been kings, all this stuff, and then after that, throw them in the spiritual community. It'll be fun. You see what I'm explaining to you? And then look, it's what they, man, I don't know why people thought it was exempt. This is, COINTELPRO is deeper than you think. People, they read one page and they think they understand it. Counterintelligence program. Counterintelligence program. They're not done. They will never be done. The counterintelligence program existed before they called it that. They've been looking at niggas that was intelligent and was like, no, we got to stop that. Intelligence is about how you can receive information and apply the information. That's intelligence. And then you group that with wisdom and the knowledge, you'll become the governments. You will run things. And you don't got to overthrow none of it. You just keep expanding. You see what I'm saying?
Like the same way, like kind of related to like a business, like you grow and then you got people to work under you and stuff. You extend. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. So do you believe in prayer? Do you do any kind of prayer and meditation?
It depends. Yeah, at times I do. It depends because I have all types of genes in my body. So my grandmama was a prayer warrior. So sometimes I might pray. That's me getting in touch with my grandmama because that's what she used to do. So it's activating that part of the genes. Genes is information. Genes can be regulated. They can be upregulated, downregulated. There's gene expression. Depending on what I eat, what I listen to, and what I think and do, certain genes will be active. So if I need to get in my grandmama bag, I'll pray. You understand? I grew up on Islam. Islamic communities were around me. So I would see them. If I get into my Islamic bag, then I'll go into the Shahada style. I'll prostrate. You understand? I'll utter the Arabic tones because I got people in my family that spoke Arabic or Arabiya. I got people in my family spoke Ibrit or Hebrew. So they practice certain, you with me, things. And then when I do it, it helps me, for one, feel closer to them, but also there's a science to that called heredity, that every characteristic, every trait that I have in my being is because of my ancestors who came before me. You see? And then you got epigenetics, which is a different science, where they allude to the possibility that the environment itself can change what you're doing. The environment or what you're experiencing, eating, all of that, can change your genes. You see? So if you're exposed to certain trauma or love and all that stuff, that's going to alter the genes that you pass on to your children. So sometimes I will pray because that's me activating that part of myself that belongs to a long line of people that prayed and believed in Jesus and God. Sometimes I'll do the spiritual thing. Sometimes I'll meditate. Like I come from a family of people who meditate. My middle name is Shaman. I come from a long line of shamans. You see? So then certain things I'll do when I need to get in certain bags. That means I'll run into some people. The Jehovah's Witness might come to my door. I don't gotta hit them with there were no J's back then, that ain't his name, Jesus wasn't white. I don't gotta hit him with that. I go right into the bag of Jesus, the love of Christ. Praise God. You know what I'm saying? And people can come to me and say, Jesus is Lord. I say, you're right. Because I understand that genetics. You see what I'm saying? Or those genetics. And I understand that way of thinking. So guess what? I'll be able to work with them too. And I know what they really mean. Because I've done the science of what they're saying. You with me?
Yeah, I got you. Okay. Sure. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people think you're Asian because of what they say, that Freemason thing on your hat.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you? Like your perception? Like what is that?
That's a good question. Firstly, what people need to pay attention to is they're only talking about the Freemason symbol or emblem because I put it on. They don't think like that. Most of the Masons, you don't see them put on the Freemason emblem, so you think that they're not Masons. So y'all got a lot of Masons in your spiritual community, but you don't know they're Masons because they're wearing different symbols. They might be wearing the moon and the sun. Or they might got an ankh on. So you think that's one of us. That's a Mason. You just won't tell you he's a Mason because he doesn't want you to ostracize him and isolate him. But he went through the order too. But he can't make business and can't do business, make money off of you because you believe all Masons is agents, so he gonna fake like he's not a Mason. You wanna know what that makes him? An agent. The niggas that's not showing y'all who they are, what schools they've been through, those are the agents. Not the one who comes and says, look, here you go. You can ask me anything. Not even what it means to me. What does it mean? Essentially, this is a light. This is the third eye. I even have it where they put it. It's on my third eye. It's that G in the center pointing to something in the center, which is the center, the singularity in the black hole. You understand? That's simple science, where all things are balanced. When you have things level, talk to another Mason, I'll say, are you on a level? On the level. Level is where you build a foundation, that L that you see us hold up. The right angle, the 90 degrees. You see? Then you have the square and compasses. What do you use a compass for?
Come on.
Direction.
Boom. Not just the math. You use it to find your way, to navigate. Navigate means to navy is water. Gate is to walk. G-A-I-T. Go look it up. To walk on water. What used to walk on water? They call it Merkaba. Merkaba means a chariot or a ship, a boat. So the boats walk on water, don't they? Or they tread water. That's what Jesus was doing. Treading water.
Come on.
Go read it. So he was walking on water or treading water. Then that's a Merkaba, a ship that travels over the waters. We come from the school of the water. The school of the water is the school of the mother. We are sons of the mother, my son, Mason. Mary's son was Jesus, Isa. Isa el-Maryam, Isa el-Basir. And Isa el-Masir walked on water and also knew how to do miracles. Mir is a word that means pyramid. It also is a word that means beloved. Go look it up. Pyramid in ancient Egypt is another word for beloved, mir. So if I say mir and I say the word occult, I'm saying mir occult, the hidden secrets of the pyramid that only the ones who were beloved or the lineage of David still possess at this point in time. Why David? Why Dawood, beloved? Because when you flip the word beloved around, it sounds like this. Beloved, develop, beloved, develop, growth and development. Same thing the GDs say. G-D, 7-4. 7-4 GD. 7-4. 7 is G. 4 is D. In the book, the Quran, there's a chapter called The Hidden Secret. Guess what chapter it is? 74. Okay? And that 7 and 4 is hiding something for a reason. Because that dash in the middle or that center in the middle, not everybody remembers to get back to. That's why you see Jesus doing this. He's pointing to the center. You see, that center that he's pointing to is called the heart. The heart is that capstone of the pyramid. If you look at the pyramid like this, then you won't understand it. But if you would look at that pyramid from the bird's eye view and look down at it, you'll see a box with an X in the middle, wouldn't you? Okay, then that means the capstone is in the middle. So that's the fire in the middle. That's what pyramid means. Fire in the middle. You see? And only certain people, Jesus went and studied where? In Egypt. To get these sciences. And he came back and he could teach it. Masonry is about building realities. Literally, a mason builds with brick. And each brick were the people, or was the people, or the person. Every brick was a person that built up the society. There's a sociological pyramid. You learned that in school. They put the elite at the top. It's called a caste system. That's where they cast you. If I want to put a spell on you, I'm going to cast a spell. So you mean to tell me, not only am I a Mason, I became a Mason at age 16 of my own accord and free will. I learned all these sciences, but I had been learning them books or reading them books and everything before I became 16 because I grew up with Dr. Malachi Z. York's books, and my stepfather's a Mason. My father's a Mason. I think he's a 32nd or 33rd degree Mason. My grandfather, my godfather, all these people are Masons.
Come on.
We know what it means. So I'm coming out revealing. People ask me all the time. I say, no matter what the OB or the obligation told me or the oath said, you can't talk. Then why am I talking? And I'm an agent. If I'm an agent, I should be doing this.
Come on.
But I'm revealing. So no, they're afraid of the symbol. The symbol lead back to ancient Egypt. They were building pyramids. There's a pyramid on the back of the dollar bill. You mean to tell me the conscious and spiritual community that think they're Egyptians is afraid of something that leads them to Egypt?
Come on.
But they worship things like the Knight Templar and Baphomet and Sophia, things that lead them to darkness and not light. Okay, well then let them think I'm an agent. Let them think that. And then while they try to figure out what's on my hat, the wise ones of you need to figure out what's coming out of my mouth and what's on my hands. What are my works? Are we reaching people? Yes. Are we breaking through the internet? Yes. Multiple directions. Are we ringing out that truth? Yes. Do they like it? No, they didn't like it. Guess what they did when they didn't like it before in one of these stories? They said, crucify him.
Come on.
He's an agent. Put him on the cross. That's too much truth. We want to live in illusion. So no, masonry is not an agent thing. Unless you're saying, how about this? You know the word agent comes from the word egere. And egere means to do. And if you look at the word faiz in French, guess what the word means? To do. So yeah, it's action. I'm about action. I am an agent. I'm about action. And if somebody sends in somebody into a community to chop up all the illusion and bring the truth, then that is an agent. So then ask them, what is he an agent of? We could ask them the harder questions like, does he work for the FBI? Is he CIA? They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're going to be like, oh, well, it don't mean you're an agent if you work. They're going to switch all that real quick. Because then you got to tell what agency. If I'm an agent sent to destroy your community. And then y'all supposed to be superhumans. Y'all supposed to be spiritual, advanced, woke, all that. You going to let one little nigga, one little agent come in and shut all that fallacy down? It should be enough. It's enough of y'all that I should have been gotten rid of. I'm not talking about physically kill me. Enough of them want to do that. We've seen that. I'm saying you should have been gotten rid of me. If I come on here and do a live with people, they want to go where they want to debate me and all this stuff, I should be sitting there stumbling over my words, not knowing what to do with all that power coming from that community. No, they know the agents are the ones that protect me. The ones that they don't want me to call out.
Come on.
Those are the agents. And the only type of agent I would be is an agent of true light. So yeah. That's how I feel about it. I mean, what do you want me to say? I don't have to entertain these things. I'm beyond it. I just do it because I know people are watching. I want people to question me. But before you question me, you need to be asking, why am I wearing it? Meaning you need to ask yourself, not just ask me, why are you wearing that? You need to be like, why would he put that on? Knowing what people think about me. Exactly. When I was younger, why was I walking around with an unk? Knowing what y'all thought about unks. A lot of y'all was Christians and you thought the unk was a devil sign. Now you done came over here into the community, you want to forget and act like that didn't happen. A lot of y'all were devils. Going around antagonizing people for no reason. Calling people demons just because they didn't believe in God. You said that was demonic. Now you're doing terror. Yeah, y'all are the agents. Where you standing at? So I had an uncle when I was younger, 12 years old. None of y'all said nothing. I became a Mason when I was 16. Y'all were not around to say anything. 10 years later, I'm about to be almost 11 years. I'm about to be 27 in about a month or two. You see? And I've been on this walk. And people got the nerve to say, agent, how about this? You clip this and say this. Everybody who says phase one is an agent, here is your challenge. I call this the paper trail challenge. It shouldn't be hard. All you have to do is go and find 10 years worth of paper trail and post the clips. Where were you 10 years ago? And while you're doing that, I'm going to go and find myself 16 years ago. I'll go 6 degrees beyond you. 16 years ago, you're going to see me out here speaking about fighting against the oppressors, freeing Dr. Malachi Z. York, making sure the truth is known. Or where was y'all at? Playing with toys. Or at the basketball court shooting hoops. Or chasing tail. Or at a homecoming party. Nigga, I was working. That's why they got a cop pleas. That's a plea cop. He's an agent. That's it? That's the rest of your dissertation? Well, he got a lot more to say than that. Listen, this interview, you see how full this interview is? We can go on for 4 more hours if you wanted to. And it'll be because that's years of work coming out.
Right.
You see that? So there go their challenge. Where were y'all? We can see him at 10 years old. Go look it up. Phase 1, 10 years old. He on stage rapping. He locks, baby locks, about the size of the length of his hat. Now his locks down to his back, and he's still doing it. He never went away. Where were y'all at? And now y'all coming into this thing, which is our thing. And you think we were just gonna be quiet? When I told the niggas in high school I was teaching, they're going to try to infiltrate. And when you see them do that, that's when you're gonna see me pop out. And I'm gonna set the record straight. And if you think I'm lying, go on Phase 1 SoundCloud. I'm giving you a lot of stuff to look at. And you'll see a song called Real Woke. This was like 2015, 2016. I was in high school. Real woke. People say, why you say real woke? I said, because look over there in that direction. That's where the fake woke gonna come from. And then I said, I'm gonna show up. Watch, when all this stuff get crazy, I'm gonna pop up. Everybody gonna start being quiet and try to run off to the, why they don't want to debate? Everybody used to love debating. You don't see them debating Phase 1. You see that? They don't want to debate, they want to come on live and they want to yell. No, let's do an actual debate where you put this person right here as moderator and we each got time to talk and you got to bring your facts. Right. They don't want to do that. So no, it's just tell them they got to pull up their track record before they start saying things like that. Where did you come from? Where did 607 come from? You say, I'll use a list to, yeah, where he come from? Why is he here? Which one he working? He go on be their platform and say, I'm gonna kill you. We get on a live with him, we say, what you was saying? Now he wants to say, I love you, brother, I love you, brother. Nah, bring that same energy. Because some of us come from that war zone. He wasn't able to just say, I'm gonna kill, because he said it to me. He DM'd me, said, I'm gonna kill you. Y'all let niggas get away with that? You see what I'm saying? They the chosen ones. According to the book that he keep quoting, the Bible, it say the ones who want to kill you, that's the devil children. You are of your father, the devil. He's been a murderer from the beginning. He's been a liar from the beginning. The lust of your father you will do. So that same story, Jesus was like, nigga, if you was really my family, you wouldn't want to kill me because of the things that I say. You see, and we shut all that down. Niggas still got the nerve to say phase you an agent. Why? Because I caught somebody or called up with somebody who was going around telling niggas that they were going to kill them just because they couldn't stand with them intellectually.
Come on.
You sound like the Roman capital with Jesus. You sound like them. They crucified him because they couldn't stand with what he was doing and what he was saying. You can't really contest it. You lying. You see that? It's real. Some of us, may not be a lot of us, some of us really on this mission. So you can do that yourself. You say you looked into me a little bit, go to Phase 1 Productions on YouTube and just look all the way back. You'll see like 12, 13 years ago. Say, damn, hold on. Yeah, I come from this. They don't. Where did they come from? That's the question. Where did y'all come from?
Come on.
If I can go to Facebook and see you doing all kind of worldly shit, that's where you came from. Some of y'all niggas got hit with cases, and they said, you know what? We can use a nigga like you. You want to avoid time? Yeah, I'll do anything. We're going to blow you up. I want to get you with Adam 22. I want to get you with these. That's how they'll do. We're going to blow you up out of nowhere. And then they're going to look up to you, and then you'll lead more people astray. Because we do not need that. There's a lot of people in that spiritual community. There's a lot of people in that conscious community. They cannot have y'all organizing. They can't have y'all coming together on science. You'll be another city by the end of this year. You see? So, yeah, they'll blow people up like that. They'll blow everybody. Look, Rashad Jamal, they'll blow them up. And then I step forward and I say, okay, cool, come here. What you said? Only black people have neuromelanin. No. According to these books right here, on these same sciences you're talking about, that's wrong. Not only do we have to define the word, you just lied. Then we have to go into the scientific field that it applies to, you just lied again. Well, I got this from the divinity. I got this from the ethos. Okay, let me ask you a question. Okay, they like to talk. Their worst nightmare is when I say, and it'd be quick too, let me ask you a question. I'm not going to say, allow me to ask you a question. I say, let me ask you. Soon as I say, let me ask you a question, niggas be getting scared. Because they know I'm coming with it. They try to put disclaimers out there now. I don't want to come on your live and just talk nonsense. Good. Don't come on my live to talk nonsense. You know better. If you're coming on my live, you better be ready. Niggas think they're ready and then they get hit with questions. You're used to talking. When you going to let people question you? Phase 1 let people question him all the time. You don't see just my YouTube full of videos of just me teaching. Like all these other niggas screaming at the screen in the middle of their living room. No, you see lives full of split screen, 2 people. Me and somebody that's a part of the people. And they can ask me anything. They can dump their trauma. They can do all of that until they time up. Some niggas want to read it. Some niggas want to debate me. Some niggas want to say that they metaphysics, whatever. Come talk to me. I got time for y'all. These niggas ain't even have time for y'all. You ain't gonna see me in no video in Publix cussing out an elder lady who's a melanin dominant lady like Rashad Jamal. He called her a bitch. in public. He called her a house Negro, and she's an elder black woman. And nobody said that ain't gonna fly. Not in our community. Y'all let that shit slide. He should have got G-checked then and say, no. Listen, you gotta put out a message publicly, not just to the woman you disrespected. That's our elder. The reason why we here. To all elder melanin dominant women. It's one thing to call a woman in your age group a bitch. That ain't tolerable. Not in this community. It shouldn't be. Especially when y'all say things like words of power and spell. Then why is she still a bitch? You see what I'm explaining to you? No. You disrespected an elder. Bucked up on her. In Publix. You're Rashad Jamal. You're one of the 23rd elders that created the cosmos. Build your own grocery store. So you ain't got to worry about screaming about the oppressor in their establishment. They don't think this way. And before I came, it seemed like nobody else did either. I'm not talking about just them as character. I'm also talking about what they teaching. However, your character means something in this. And you ain't going to see Phase One on no video doing that. That's why I say check, go look me up, expose me. Everything that's ever been put out of me, you'll see this is who I am. And it aligns with the mission. When people meet me in person, say that nigga just like, damn, not only is he just like how he appear on camera, he's more like it in person. I feel more of that from him. He really like that. I met Phase One, I'm just in passing. Yo, he really that? Okay, cool. So if they want to call that person an agent, okay, good. Anybody that says that, they're only showing and revealing who and what they are. Because then you're not going to, if I bring up this, Rashad Jamal said he would kill people's kids. If he went to, I'm killing kids and all. That came out of his mouth. I'm a warrior. We don't have to say that. Because we understand the rules of law. Niggas ain't no rules. We understand the rules of war. And certain things, even if there were, listen, we're not even them soldiers that have to go to war for real in this day and time. So you definitely didn't have to say that because you're not in that type of state. Something in your being made you say you would kill kids. Innocent. Right? So you got to check all of that. And nobody should be beyond reproach. If you got niggas that are beyond reproach in your community, that's what we call dictators. I don't want to be a part of no community of people that got dictators running shit. Then what's the purpose of saying that we free? When you got an oppressor sitting up there on top of the hill. Nobody can question him to do whatever the fuck you want to do and claim whatever. You can just believe it and receive it and say that it's divine. No. So if I challenge something, people challenge me all the time, I'll leave you with this. People challenge me all the time, I never say I'm going to kill you. People make videos of me, I say, let's go live. You see? I don't pop out with no diss record and say, we're going to pull up on you, fuck you, you an agent. As soon as they make the video, I get in touch with them. I say, come talk to me. Because you don't know you out of pocket because you think you're doing something divine. Same thing they did when Judas thought he was doing right when he sold out Jesus in the story. Yo, you don't know what you're doing. Come talk to me. A lot of people leave them lives. Even 607 Unk, when he first got on live with me, he probably denied it. But it's recorded. When he first got on live with me, that nigga said, yo, I should never said I was going to kill you. I love you. I didn't see who you were. I see who you are now. And then he switched again. You can't trust what he said. That nigga's a liar. Which one you working? You acknowledge the divinity or you against the divinity? Which one? I'm not going to have these episodes. Is your mental intact? So I let people challenge me is what I'm saying. I let people question me all the time. That's what I'm saying. If they want to do that, then that's fine. They don't have to worry about being threatened. So my point is, leaders are not afraid of being challenged. Good. Teachers are not afraid of being challenged or questioned. Raise your hand. I'll get to you. They're afraid because if they can't answer the question, they lose business numbers. Their analytics will shift. And that's what they care about. Keeping their fans, their members, their followers, okay, at bay. And stopping them people from looking into their room and their window and say, hold on. You know what I'm saying? I thought you said no this and now you got that. I thought you said we can't do this, now you doing that. I thought you said you was this, but you that. They don't want that. But a single question it'll expose anybody. Not just the question alone. Look at how they respond. So if they responded with he's an agent and you seeing what I'm doing, I'm asking questions. I asked you a bunch of questions. You asked me questions. I'm not gonna call you an agent. Listen, you could make a video and challenge anything I said. I'm still not gonna call you an agent. I'll hit you up, be like, yo, let's go live again. Let's talk about it. They've done that. Somebody named Smoke the Creator made a video, said I was an agent, right? That I was of the fake light. That Cisco said, oh, because the real Chosen One, I'm fake. And then I came and talked. I said, yo, what's up with that? We got on the live. She got upset with me mid-live and ran away. She won't tell the truth. I'll tell the truth. The truth is she had never been upset with me before, never had an issue with me before. And then I made a video. The video was, stop smoking weed. When I made that video, she got triggered. And then I became an enemy. And she admitted it on live. I got the live recorded. She admitted that that's what she was upset about. She was triggered because of that. And that she should have never said those things. And then she took the video down. No war. Never called her an agent. Never disrespected, made a video disrespecting her. And then she went out and attacked me again. And guess what? The 607 aunt that she said was chosen, he choked her out, laced her, all kind of stuff. She made a video about that. According to what she said.
Yeah.
You see, allegedly. So then she made a video about that and had to apologize to me. I'm like, listen, I told you about that. I told you about him. These are not beings you won't even be around. But if you choose to, that's on you. That's your thing. But I'm not going to disrespect you even after you disrespected me. I'm going to say, come on, let's talk. Unless I realize you're too belligerent. I haven't got on people live before, and they doing all this stuff. I said, listen, pull me up, we're going to talk. I'm not pulling you up. You a leech, da-da-da. I said, what? I said, peace. I did a little mean when a nigga fade away. That's all I did.
Yeah.
You see? That's all I did. I didn't say, fuck this nigga, da-da-da-da. I don't have time. I'm on a mission. I could go up on anybody. You see what I'm saying? But no, I'm on a mission. So I'll pull people on to talk. So that's what people need to be looking at. The difference between not just phase one, what I'm doing, and what they do. I'm not the problem, but if you want to believe that I am, I respect your right to. Here's the truth, fam. What's your name?
Cam.
Who?
Cam.
Cam?
Yeah, C-A-M.
Yeah, okay, Cam. Good to meet you, Cam.
Yes, sir. You too, brother.
The truth is, and thank you for having me on.
No problem.
The truth is, they're going to watch anyway. Some people may unfollow. It's too important. It's too vital. It's too exciting what I'm doing. They're going to still watch. Some people may hate me, make videos, or diss me. They still watching. They want to know what I'm going to say next. They want to know what I'm going to do next.
Oh, yeah.
You with me? It's still a part of it. So I look at it all as a part of the plan. It's all in the plan. And I respect everybody's right to choose what they want to choose and say what they want to say.
Right.
You got the last word?
Shit, bro. Nah, I'm with you, bro. I'm just, glad you was able to come on and, speak your truth. And, us dive into, your reality. That's the whole point of this. And, your different perspectives and, how other people look, see the world and, see different things. So that's the whole point of me doing this right here. And I feel like you did that to the max, bro. You didn't put together a piece of art, bro. And I appreciate you coming on again and sharing your truth.
See, music producer, if you have Auto-Tune Unlimited, you have everything, and I'll show you why. Just take a listen to how I took this bass.
I am one with all is one with me. I am a part of all is a part of me. I wish I'll save it. I want it, I'll go get it. I don't care if they all forget. I remember all you said. I am rich, never poor. I will reach the heaven door. All is well, so is me. All is plenty poetry. Calculate the latter dates. Send me whoever won't break. All my people celebrate. All go wedding cake. I'm in love with right now. There's just a ring on my finger. That's the ring to my ringer. That's the ring. That's the ring. I'm in love with Hydronic. Oh, no bull in my stomach. I am beaming like a comet. All is litty lit, I promise. Ooh, baby. Ooh, honey. Ooh, lovely. Ooh, lovely. Ooh, lovely. never heard. I love you, I love you, I love me, I love we.
No, we won't be lonely. The time has come again, my friend. No one has to go there, but time has come to ascend, my friend. Stand up taller, hold your own, hold on to the rope of home. Hit phone and not to lose, dialing 999 the truth. Pinky finger aimed at heart, light is true, its twin is dark. Know the way the life is now, new app, the righteous sound. There will be a billion stars. There will be a will in charge. I won't miss my bus, so no one has to go, but I will, but I will. Yes, the gates will open. You exit out by flying in. Yes, the hate will perish. Refresh your soul, no license. The end of Leviathan. Wake the people, every soul. Resurrection, young and old. Not my living, don't believe me, check it out. And now you see me, never said it would be easy, only that it could be done. Just remember, fake won't help you when it's time to journey through the sun. Journey through the sun. There will be a billion stars. There will be a will in charge. I won't miss my bus, so no one has to go, but I will, but I will. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. You and I heard the wind, fire and rain, new earth begins. Finally, friend, I've got you to myself. There will be cheering, screaming, the show must go on. Even in old times, this crime is punishable by sun. 'Cause if loving you is judgment day, grab my Armageddon and hold on. Grab my Armageddon and hold on. You and I heard the wind, fire and rain, new earth begins. Finally, friend, I've got you to myself. There will be cheering, screaming, the show must go on. Even in old times, this crime is punishable by some. 'Cause if loving you is judgment day, grab my Armageddon and hold on. Grab my Armageddon and hold on. Grab my Armageddon and hold on.
1,000.
Make me a truth teller. I put on my UV rays, then I glue better. New feet stepping in my nature. I got new nectar, Netheroo. Guess it's true, meeting of the blue feathers. Oh, oh, can it be? Yes, it can be. Like it's honey in you, honey in me. Or will I sing? Not if you be where you'll be, and let it be also for me. Running, running, running. Who asked you to call me? Buzzing, buzzing, buzzing. You must know I'm a sweetheart. Intro, intro. Are there vain stipulations? Pocket, pocket, pocket. You can stuff your opinion. Oh, can it be? Yes, it can be. Like it's honey in you, honey in me. Or will I sing? Not if you be where you be, and let it be also for me. Enough about 9 ether, you ain't of the 9 either. I know the divine teacher, I know ain't no time either. Enough about ghost spirit, your jargon has no bearing. You're in for a whole hearing, prepare for the soul clearing. Enough about we are gods, your window is nearly closed. The God would have showed it by now. Enough about spiritual, enough about cloud chasing. You fishes is cold product, so shout out to True and Willing. It's great to see souls light up. Oh, can it be? Yes, it can be. Like it's honey in you, honey in me. Or will I sing? Not if you be where you be, and let it be also for me. Clearer. Now mother speaks and we can hear her. I wanna be right, but not too right. I wanna be whole on whose behalf. I wanna be good, but not too good. I wanna be just, but please don't laugh. Cause if mirrors, mirrors, mirrors is all we have, what have we here?
Show.
People are people, that's worldwide.
Expectation.
And I thought, why not harmonize with her? And so I did.
Mama.